Hello.
Yes, sir.
Balbir ma'am, you can start.
Yes. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed chair, co-chair, distinguished guests, and delegates of Ctpdcon-Era 2024, the second virtual international conference on educational reforms and advancements organized by the Council for Teachers' Professional Development, CTPD, in collaboration with its organizing partners, K.R. Mangalam University, Gurugram, Haryana, India, Galgotias University, Greater Noida, Uttar Pradesh, India, Saraswati College of Professional Studies, Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh, India, Satyug Darshan Institute of Education and Research, Faridabad, Haryana, India, DAV PG College, Dehradun, Uttarakhand, India, Institute of Teacher Education, Faridabad, Haryana, India, Thakur Shyam Narayan College of Education and Research, Mumbai, Maharashtra, India, Sanjay Teachers Training College, Jaipur, Rajasthan, India, Social Development and Research Foundation, India, Council for Teacher Education Foundation, CTEF, India. It is my honor and privilege to extend a heartfelt welcome to this global gathering of educators, researchers, policymakers, and thought leaders. At this informative juncture in the world of education, this conference offers us a timely opportunity to come together, reflect, and deliberate on the challenges and advancements that are reshaping educational landscapes worldwide. I welcome you to track 3.3, which is on paradigm shifts in global higher education and e-learning. It is my pleasure to introduce the moderator for today's technical session 3.3, Dr. Pooja Sharma, Associate Professor, BSSS Institute of Advanced Studies, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, India. Dr. Pooja Sharma will steer this program ahead. Dr. Pooja Sharma, you're welcome. Dr. Pooja Sharma, you can unmute yourself.
A very good morning to all of you. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world, said Nelson Mandela. I am Dr. Pooja Sharma, and it's a great honor for me to be the moderator for this educative technical session of Ctpdcon-Era 2024 Track 3 on the theme Online and Digital Education. The sub-theme of this technical session 3.3 is Paradigm Shifts in Global Higher Education and E-Learning. This track addresses the integration of technology and online platforms onto education, examining their potential to enhance accessibility, flexibility, and effectiveness in teaching and learning. The sub-theme of this track is Global Higher Education, which is undergoing paradigm shifts, with e-learning at the forefront of this transformation. Online learning for beginners has democratized access, allowing the students worldwide to engage in self-directed learning. Educators are now focused on teaching for enhanced learning, creating immersive online experiences that go beyond traditional methods. This new wave embraces teaching without a textbook, fostering critical thinking and personalized knowledge acquisition. We have eminent speakers and paper presenters who shall be sharing their expertise and insights in this field. I'm delighted to extend a warm welcome to our esteemed chair, Professor Seema Dhawan, Professor, Department of Education, Garhwal University, Srinagar, and co-chair, Dr. Siti Nazwar Selin, Deputy Dean, Avanghad Sele, Graduate School of Arts and Science, University Utaha, Malaysia. Ma'am, I just wanted to confirm, are my slides visible?
Now visible, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Slides को भी ना आप एक बार move करते रहिए आगे.
Yes, sir, sure. I extend a warm welcome to the convener of track, Dr. Sanjay Kumar, Professor and Principal, Saraswati College of Professional Studies, Ghaziabad. I also welcome our co-convener of Track 3, Dr. Balbir Kaur, Professor, PG Studies Department, School of Education, SGRR, University, Dehradun. I feel honored to introduce you all to Dr. Sonal Chabra, Associate Director and Head of Department, Delhi Teachers University, Delhi. Dr. Sonal Chabra is a postgraduate in Child Development and Education and doctorate from GGSIP University and is a passionate teacher and researcher. She has an experience of teaching and administration for more than 15 years in different institutions like MS University Vadodara, Lady Irwin College, University of Delhi, and Raval College of Education. At present, she is working as assistant professor and head of the department in Delhi Teachers University. She has more than a dozen books and around 70 research papers published in national and international journals to her credit. She has contributed to development of learning material for NIOS and has actively participated in video lectures and live programs for DEI education program of NIOS. She is an associate program director for Council for Teachers Professional Development India. And may I request and invite you, ma'am, to please present an overview of the plenary session 3.3.
Thank you, Dr. Pooja, for this warm welcome and
Thank
humble
you, ma'am.
introduction of mine. But
You're honored.
when I'm sitting in front of educationists like Professor Seema Dhawan, we do not have any kind of standing. We are actually new buddies in the system, and we are trying to learn the things from them. Thank you so much, ma'am. You have always been an inspiration in some or the other way. We may not have met, but we have heard so much about you. You have been inspiring us in some or the other way, and we all are learners here. So I have been given this opportunity of sharing my views or sharing an overview of the session which we are expecting. Let me just start from where India was when it comes to higher education, and since we are going to talk about the paradigm shift in higher education across the world. But we need to remember where our roots were. So we started from Nalanda University, which probably the debate is still going on, but which is probably the oldest residential university in the world. So that says a lot about how much importance we had been giving to higher education. And there have been other universities in the world also, like University of Bologna, which has been working, or which is still working since 1088. So that speaks a lot about the importance of higher education, which has been given over the world or different countries. However, over the past years, and that's a law that the change is going to happen. So there are going to be shifts in how the things were being viewed, and there's going to be shift in how the things are going to be viewed now. So there is a lot of change in that, and what has been catching attention of everybody, one is the globalization, and we all know that with specifically when we talk about India, we had been experiencing globalization in other aspects for quite a long time, but with national education policy opening its doors to the foreign educational institutions also. So this is going to change the educational landscape of the higher education in India. So that is something which we all are probably expecting also and looking forward to also. So we are also moving out. IIT has set up a base in Tanzania. So we are also moving out, and we are expecting others to move in also. And that's going to help us learn a lot from the different arenas. Similarly, a digital transformation is another area which has really brought a global audience to any kind of program. Now, we can talk about this program also where we are attending, all of us, and we know that we have people from Malaysia, we have people from Jaipur, we have people from Punjab, Haryana, Uttarakhand, everywhere. And how has that been possible? Only because of the digital transformation which has been coming in and which has been bringing in rampant changes in the way the higher education is being viewed at. Then how higher education is transforming itself or expecting more changes is the focus on research and innovation. which is again a very, very predominant factor and which is acquiring importance in all programs. Now, when we relate it to the national education policy, we know that we are turning the graduation to a 4-year program, and the 4th year we are expecting, or we are focusing that it should be around the research only. So that is another component which is not just India thing, but it is an across the world thing, that there is a lot of focus on research and innovation. Further, there is a focus on lifelong learning. Again, the massive open online courses and the digital system and the digital transformation is aiding to this concept of lifelong learning, that we all agree to that fact that education is a lifelong process, but we always think that यहाँ पर आकर खत्म हो जाती है, या यहाँ पर आकर एक उस पर पूर्ण विराम लग जाता है once we have done our higher education. But then with the kind of changes the world is experiencing, with the kind of changes we are experiencing every day in our lives, so we need to really be a lifelong learner if we want to survive into the system. And we need to accommodate to the evolving needs of the learner. For that, you need to be a lifelong learner. So when I would have started teaching 15 years back and when I'm teaching it now, there is a huge difference in the expectations of the student. There is a huge difference in the needs of the learners. And I need to adapt to it. If I need to adapt to it, I need to be a lifelong learner. Otherwise, I'm going to fall back somewhere. Further, what I personally believe is that competency-based education has also suddenly gained a lot of emphasis, because we all know that traditional degrees are not going to lead you closer to the job market. So if we want to be closer to the job market, and if we want our students to really look for a job, get a job, or probably give other people the job, then we need to emphasize on the practical applicable skills in our education system only. So that is something which we all are looking forward to when it comes to revising of the curriculum in different courses or different programs of studies. Again, a lot of credit goes to the national education policy, because it has given us a chance of re-looking at the thing. Not that was not happening earlier, that was happening earlier also, but NEB has been like a hard hitter to us to realize many things which we have been missing. So that is another thing which is bringing a paradigm shift in the global higher education system. Then there are things like assessment and accountability is changing its pattern. So it is how leading to changes in how institutions assess the learning outcomes and demonstrate their value to the students and the society. So that is something which is bringing in change, and we all are expecting that is going to lead to a lot more changes than the ones which we are just expecting. And yes, last not the least, the technology enhanced learning. That is another thing which is gaining a lot of importance. So artificial intelligence, virtual realities, and other technologies in the classroom are going to reshape the pedagogical practices, and they're going to enhance the learning experience, which is going to make it more personalized and interactive. So these are the things which I believe that higher education is shifting to, or viewing the shifts from Nalanda to Nalanda now. So where Nalanda was earlier and where Nalanda is now, because it is coming up again, but then it is coming up with the changer modalities. So that is something which we all are looking forward to. Thank you so much. That is the overview of the session which we are going to look forward to.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your profound words in this domain. And I'm sure the participants will gain from your experience. And one key takeaway even I have taken, and that is of lifelong learning. Thank you so much, ma'am. It is now my honor to introduce our esteemed chair, Professor Seema Dhawan, Department of Education, Garhwal University, Srinagar. Professor C, and it is my honor to introduce her, and she is a distinguished academic researcher currently serving as a professor in the Department of Education at Birla Campus, HNB Garhwal, Central University, Srinagar. With an exceptional academic background, she holds an MSc in zoology, MEd, PhD in forestry, and PhD in education. Her specialization spans across education for sustainable development, educational technology, and research. With over 25 years of experience in teaching and research at both undergraduate and postgraduate levels, Professor Dhawan has made significant contributions to the field of education. She is a member of various prestigious bodies, including the State Resource Group Uttarakhand, Board of Studies NCTE, OER Committee, and Curriculum Development Groups under the National Education Policy 2020. Her prolific academic output includes supervision of 70 dissertations and PhD works, publication of 5 books, 23 chapters, 157 research papers in national and international journals. She has developed 21 educational materials, including courses for Arpit and Swayamprabha 32 channel. Professor Dhawan has played a pivotal role in designing environmental education modules for teacher training programs and contributing to vocational and assessment frameworks under NEP 2020. Her extensive involvement in organizing workshops, seminars, and conferences, 55 in total, along with delivering 158 lectures as a resource person and plenary speaker at national and international forums, showcases her deep commitment to the field. Professor Dhawan also serves as an editor for prominent journals and has been a key expert in ICSSR and IMPRESS projects. Her outstanding achievements have been recognized with 9 awards, including the Professor Satyapal Rohela Best Educational Sociologist Award 2014, Women Educationist Award 2014, Gyan Jyoti Award 2017, Teacher of the Year 2020, and Best Teacher Award 2021. With your guidance, we are confident that this session will be a resounding success, leaving a lasting impact on all the participants. So may I now invite Professor Seema Dhawan to please deliver her address. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Pooja, for such a nice introduction.
So thank you so much. We are honored, ma'am.
Namaskar to one and all. Dear Dr. Siti Nazur, co-chair, Dr. Sanjay, Dr. Balbir Kaur, Dr. Pooja Sharma, Dr. Sonal Chhabra, and dear participants. I am overjoyed to congratulate the organizers of Ctpd, a professional association devoted to the advancement of professional development of educators, on hosting this international conference on educational reforms and advancements. Through organizing these kinds of multiple events, Ctpd is promoting quality education with great success. From this platform, I must appreciate the contribution of Ctpd. So congratulations to all of you. The theme of the conference emphasizes on the significance of ongoing reforms in the education sector to match the changing requirements of our global society. As we know, education has always been the foundation of societal progress. So in this time of continuous change, when we have our vision of National Education Policy 2020, very dynamic learning, which demands dynamic learning experiences, we need to discuss various related issues and rethink, rebuild, and reinvent the building blocks that will shape education for our next generations, for future generations. In this track, we will discuss the paradigm shift in global higher education and e-learning. The landscape of global higher education and e-learning has undergone significant paradigm shifts in recent years due to advancement in technology, societal change, demands, economic requirements, and shifting educational needs of the learners. There is a growing focus on preparing students to be a global citizen, with an emphasis on intercultural competence, sustainability issues, and global problem-solving approaches. Curricula are now being designed to address the global challenges, such as, you can say, climate change, social inequality, inclusiveness, self-directed learning, and all that. So the focus is shifting towards educating students to become a global citizen with a deep understanding of different cultures, preparing them to work in multicultural and diverse environments. Higher education institutions are now increasingly encouraging interdisciplinary programs that integrate fields, science, technology, arts, uh, social sciences, linguistic. So students are given the opportunity to pursue multidisciplinary degrees, researches, combining fields, even engineering with liberal arts, computer science with social sciences, science with other areas, fostering more holistic perspectives. There is a shift from traditional exams to alternative assessment methods that evaluate students' real-world skills, their competences. These include project-based assessment, peer evaluations, portfolio, and projects that provide a more holistic measure of student capabilities. Even today, we are focusing towards 360-degree assessment. So we have moved from time-based to competency-based models. Competency-based models, it emphasizes mastering of skills, outcome of learning outcome. So rather than amount of time which we have, which has been expended in the classroom. So we are now focusing on the process. There is change in the process of whole education system, from the input to the process and then the output. In the competency-based education, students progress at their own pace, advancing once they demonstrate mastery of key competencies. Tailored to individual learning needs, this model supports diverse learners, making education more inclusive and accessible. So further in this rapidly changing job market, higher education is no longer viewed as a one-time event. As Dr. Sapna, she has added, it is an ongoing process. We should emphasize on the lifelong learning. It has now become a norm for the professionals to continue upgrade their skills and through various online courses, or even UGC says about the micro credentials. So with the increasing pace of technological changes, educational systems are shifting to support these lifelong learning, helping adults scaling their throughout their careers, providing flexible learning environments. So there are so many online courses, part-time programs, they have emerged as the need. So it supports the learners at different stages of life. So reforms are going on every aspect of education. To name a few, in the interdisciplinary education, multidisciplinarity, technological integration, skill-based learning, competence-based learning, internalization in line with global trends, even in the market education. So becoming this educational setup more inclusive, flexible, and future ready. We are now thinking for the future. So at this transformative age, as educators, it is our responsibility to make sure that our system are adaptable and prepared for the future, and give students the tool they need to prosper in today's technologically advanced and globally networked world. Because today teachers are well connected, even the students, they are well connected, they have their own network. So the fast as advancements of technology and digital platforms present prospects for online and self-directed learning, with roots of knowledge being increasingly adaptable and inclusive. So inclusive is the spirit of our NEP 2020 and also of Sustainable Development Goal 4, which is emphasizing quality education. So now the institutions, they are adopting more inclusive strategies, such as providing accessible digital platforms and content, developing mobile-friendly learning materials, offering support to marginalized communities also. So when we are talking about inclusiveness, Then, and to ensure that no learner is left behind in this increasingly linked world, which is the motto of all the Sustainable Development Goals, 17 Sustainable Development Goals, educators must design dynamic learning environments to accommodate all, and experiences that inspire them. They should know how to engage their students, how to involve their students in the process of learning, provide students with responsibility, giving control to them, and even challenge them for their own learning, so that now the students will be accountable for their own learning. We are now focusing on universal design for learning, and it is gaining traction as a framework for designing inclusive educational environments. It focuses on providing multiple means of representation, expression, and engagement to meet the diverse needs of the learners. So we have now shifted from traditional, very much teacher-centered, to online blended modes of learner-centered learning environments. Now we are emphasizing various approaches, strategies, techniques which are learner-centered. So in this transition, technology played a central role, where students take great control of their educational journey by providing personalized learning platform that adapt students' progress, offering customized content, self-pacing, and feedback also. Even multiple kinds of feedback. So this online education is booming globally with the rise of platforms which offers degrees, certificates, professional courses online. We are gathered here. This is also a kind of providing certificate to the participants. So technology-driven education is the main spirit of our NEP 2020 also, with the creation of National Education Technology Forum. This reflects India's commitment to leverage educational technology to make education accessible to all, which is one of the important components of SDG 4 or Sustainable Development Goals. Now, the world is witnessing a massive shift towards digital learning platforms, and this our NEP document, 2020 document, it also focuses on increasing the digital reach of education in the line with global advancements in e-learning, which accelerated especially during COVID-19 pandemic period, and still it continues to shape the future of education. Today, we are discussing on an online platform, and the e-learning ecosystem has expanded with platforms offering a wide range of interactive tools also. We are now talking about gamified learning experiences, virtual learning classrooms, augmented learning situations, mobile learning, and even the collaborative digital spaces. This conference is a wonderful example of collaboration. So much institutions, academicians, they collaborated for a common goal. So educational technology platforms, which virtual classrooms, AI-driven learning systems, they have revolutionized learning by providing flexible, accessible, and personalized educational experiences. Gamification and use of virtual reality and augmented reality, these are transforming learning environments, making education more interactive, engaging for the students. AI-powered tools like intelligent tutoring system, adaptive learning platforms, virtual assistants, these can offer personalized feedback also and support to students in the process of learning. Looking to the technological advancement, and we are talking about self-directed learning environments. We are now employing even open pedagogy, which provides openness in learning environment. These technologies adjust learning paths based on individual progress or individual needs. This change in learning environments demands experts with mastery, not only in the content, but also competence in technological practices, aligned with global reforms aimed at equipping teachers with the skills needed for this 21st century digital classroom or digital platform. Even in the traditional classroom also, we need technologically skilled, competent teachers. So in this session, a total of 14 papers will be presented on different aspects of e-learning and paradigm shift. I'm hopeful and have no doubts that the joint efforts of scholars and academicians in the form of creative solutions and ideas that come out of this conference will influence education going forward and help to create a more knowledgeable, equitable, inclusive, digital savvy, collaborative, and empowered global community. I'm grateful to all of you for inviting me and giving this opportunity to interact with you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Your words of wisdom and your deep insights have left an indelible mark on us all. We are really honored to have you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. I'll be just sharing. We are privileged to introduce our esteemed co-chair, Dr. Siti Nazwar Selen, Deputy Dean, Awang Had Sele, Graduate School of Arts and Science University, Utaha, Malaysia. Dr. Siti is a senior lecturer and instructional technologist, instructional designer, and instructional trainer with more than 15 years of instructional experience in the higher education and secondary education. Currently, she is Director of Institute of Excellence Teachers and Leaders in Education, School of Education, University of Utahara, Malaysia. She has been awarded various awards: UUM Distinguished Teaching Award in 2018, Neopath Certified Educator 2020, Gold Medalist for Educational Innovations in International and National Exhibitions. She has more than 50 research papers in international journals. She has organized various workshops on training and coaching of educators. We eagerly anticipate the insights and discussions that will unfold under your guidance, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Dr. Pooja,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
I could not update. There is one correction in regarding Dr. Siti Nazur.
Yes,
She
sir.
is a Director, Institute of Excellent Teachers and Leaders in Education, and Associate Professor in Educational Technology, School of Education, UUM College of Arts and Science, University of Utara, Malaysia. This is
Okay, sir.
the
Thank you.
updated designation of Dr. Siti Nazur.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, you can proceed now. Thank you.
All
So,
right.
ma'am,
Thank you.
yes.
Thank you so much for the introduction. I think I have been joining 1 hour late. Am I? Oh, it's just started?
Will you repeat, ma'am?
Is it 10 a.m. in India now, or it's already started?
Ma'am,
It
you
is-
were very much on time, ma'am. Sorry to interrupt. You were
Okay,
very
so
much on time.
so the paper presentation hasn't started yet?
No,
No.
you have to start the paper presentation now. Just you will give the permission. We will start the paper presentation.
Oh, okay, all right. So but my session will be at the end, right?
Yeah, your summary will be at the end of the paper
All
presentation.
right. Okay. Thank you so much, because I'm afraid that I'm late because I got some confused with the time conversion
Due
between
to time difference.
Malaysia and India. However, thank you so much for for again, inviting me to join this conference. It's a wonderful conference, I believe, and I am able to listen to Prof. Seema introduction just now. I think that this session will be very insightful. Okay, we will learn a lot about the shift in global higher educations and the paradigm shifts in e-learning. Okay, we heard about the MOOCs and so on. Okay, but I'm looking forward to listen and to collaborate and participate in the conference. And yeah, I will be giving the summary at the end of this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Dr. Pooja, now you can
Thank you
proceed.
so much. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Dr. Pooja, also take the permission from the chair, Dr. Seema Dhawan, ma'am, and then start the paper.
Yes, sir. So I request the chair and the co-chair to kindly allow us to proceed with the paper presentations.
Yes, please proceed.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. We are privileged to have paper presenters from esteemed colleges and universities from Pan-India who are participating in today's conference, and I'm sure it will be a great learning to understand their perspectives. We are pleased to announce that during the valedictory session, the Best Paper Presentation Award, one from each plenary track session, will be announced. The evaluative criteria for the awards includes content quality, clarity of presentation, effective use of visual aids, and time management. We kindly request the session chair and co-chair to submit the name of the best paper presentation from their session to the track conveners for final consideration. We now commence with the paper presentations, and let me reiterate and request the presenters to be concise and adhere to the time limit of 5 minutes for your presentation. Without further ado, now we look forward to the chair, Professor Dhawan, and also to the co-chair, Dr. Selen, and with their due permission, we proceed with our presentations. So the first presentation, that is of Madhubala, Assistant Professor, Institute of Teacher Education, Chandpur, Faridabad, Haryana. And her topic for presentation today is a comparative study of attitude of professional and non-professional course teachers towards the use of new technology. Madhubala, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Please proceed.
And can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can you do it slideshow?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. My name is Madhu Bala, Assistant Professor in Institute of Teacher Education, Village Chandpur, Faridabad. Thanks for giving me such opportunity to present my paper on this international platform. The topic is a comparative study of attitude of professional and non-professional course teachers towards use of new technology. The operational definition of this term I have used is attitude, teachers, professional course teachers, non-professional course teachers, and technology. Attitude, basically an attitude is an opinion that one has about someone or something. It can reflect a favorable, unfavorable, or neutral judgment. Now, the teachers who is indeed wise does not bid you to enter the house of wisdom, but rather leads you to the threshold of your minds. Professional course teachers. A professional course is a course that leads to a professional qualification like medical, nursing, engineering, law, and etc. Non-professional course teachers who taught languages like Hindi, English, and some other non-professional courses are called non-professional course teachers. Technology includes all tools, machineries, weapons, instruments, housing, clothing, communicating and transporting devices, and the skills by which we produce and use them. Now, this is the review of literature I have used and searched. I used reviews like Thomas D. Cox, Ronald, Sir Raj Lakshmi M. Anandan K. N. Gopal, and Madhu in 2012. The objective of my study is to study the attitude of total sample towards using new technology, to study the difference between attitude of professional and non-professional course teachers toward the use of new technology, as well as the difference in attitude of self-financed professional and non-professional course teachers, and also the difference in attitude of government-aided colleges, professional and non-professional course teachers towards the use of new technology. The hypothesis I make, there is a significant difference between attitude of professional and non-professional course teachers toward the use of new technology, and also the difference in the self-financed and government-aided professional course teachers. And there is also significant difference between self-financed and government-aided non-professional course teachers toward use of new technology. The sample, I selected the sample of 200 college teachers with the help of stratified random sampling method, and divide this sample into two equal groups, 100 professional course teachers and 100 non-professional course teachers. Now, we are talking about the tools. I have used a standardized scale named Attitude Towards Use of New Technology by Dr. S. Rajsekhar, 2009. This scale contains 30 statements which responds on 5-point scale, and it has 30 statements and 5-point scale on strongly agree, and undecided, disagree, and strongly disagree. Now moving forward, data analysis technique. In the present study, I have used the mean, standard deviation, and t-test to analyze the obtained data and draw results. I selected these techniques according to the statement and its variables. These are the calculations and the graphical presentation of this study. Now coming to the main findings, yes, we find that there is significant difference between attitude of professional and non-professional course teachers towards the use of new technology. Basically, professional course teachers have more favorable attitude towards the use of new technology. And also there is a difference between self-finance and government-aided professional course teachers. And again, there is a significant difference between self-finance and government-aided non-professional course teachers for the use of new technology. Basically, the non-professional course teachers in government-aided colleges have more favorable attitude towards the use of the technology. Now, the educational implication I want to describe. The teachers who himself use technology in their teaching may emphasize on developing critical thinking, creativity, communication skills, problem-solving ability of students. The teacher himself grows as an advisor or expert if he uses the technology. Teachers use multimedia approaches to meet the needs of students. Analyze and synthesize all the presented information. Now, with the limitation of the study is limited only to 200 college teachers, and it is also related to the attitude of professional and non-professional teachers towards the use of new technology only, and the attitude of teachers is checked on the basis of type of college and experiences only. Now, sessions for double study. Basically, the present study is limited to 200 college teachers. We can enhance it with taking large sample, and we can conduct this study on more variables like impact of new technology on academic achievement, study habits, confidence level, self-concept, self-esteem, professional growth, and globalization, and also the modernization. Similar study can be conducted to another city or state. Geographical area can be increased for the study, and also parallel study can be done between two cities and two states in future. Now, these are the references of my studies. Thank you so much, everyone, for providing me this opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. And kindly, ma'am, stop sharing. We now proceed to Ms. Shruti Dwivedi, Research Scholar, JRF, University of Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. And her topic of research is ubiquitous computing devices, interfaces, and educational uses. Over to you, Ms. Shruti Dwivedi.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, please share your screen
Yes, ma'am.
and kindly do slideshow.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, is my screen visible?
No, ma'am, not yet. Not yet, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Now,
Shruti, ma'am.
ma'am, I'm facing some technical issue, ma'am.
Okay.
One moment, please.
Yes, sure.
Pooja ma'am, you can skip the paper presenter. बाद में ले लीजिएगा. You can give the
Okay.
chance to
No,
next one
she
so that
said
you can
just
save the
a,
time.
yeah, she just said a
6 minutes
moment.
no problem. We will give the chance after that.
Okay, Shruti, ma'am, we will proceed, ma'am. You can just take
Yes,
your
ma'am.
time. No problem.
Yes, ma'am.
Your
Thank
time.
you,
Okay.
ma'am.
We proceed to Mr. Vineet Kumar Arya, our third presenter, research scholar, MJP Rohilakand University, Bareilly, UP. And his topic of research is माध्यमिक शिक्षा प्रणाली पर स्मार्ट मोबाइल तकनीकी के प्रभाव का अध्ययन. Mr. Vineet, are you there? Sir? Yes, sir. Please present.
To all of you. और मैं सबसे पहले धन्यवाद करना चाहूंगा कि मुझे आज अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर अपना पेपर प्रेजेंट करने का एक सुनहरा अवसर मिला. मैं स्क्रीन शेयर कर सकता हूँ मैं?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please आप कीजिए.
मेरा मेन टॉपिक हिंदी में है और रिसर्च पेपर भी हिंदी में, तो मुझे अलाउ होगा कि मैं हिंदी में पेपर प्रेजेंट करना? हेलो
बलबीर
जी
मैम.
मैम, क्या हुआ?
Sir, he will be presenting in Hindi. Is it okay? He's asking, sir.
No,
Your
no
permission.
problem. Dr. Seema is there, so
Yes, yes, sir.
that may be managed, no issue.
Yes,
He
sir.
can speak.
Vineet, sir, please
Yes,
present.
sure. He
Sure,
may
sir.
be, he should be allowed.
ओके मैम. तो मैं select my screen.
विनीत सर, वीडियो भी ऑन कर दीजिए.
ओके मैम.
जी सर. अब आप स्क्रीन शेयर कर लीजिए सर.
प्रॉब्लम नहीं. स्क्रीन पे देख पा रहे हैं स्क्रीन?
अभी तो नहीं सर.
मैम, रेस्ट पेपर प्रेजेंटर्स को ना इंस्ट्रक्शन दे दीजिए कि बी रेडी.
Yes sir, I have already done that.
मेरी स्क्रीन विजिबल है ना?
जी.
हेलो मेरी
विनीत जी,
स्क्रीन
you start your presentation.
मेरा विनीत कुमार आर्य और मेरा कोर्स का शीर्षक माध्यमिक विद्यालय शिक्षा प्रणाली पर स्मार्ट मोबाइल तकनीकी के प्रभाव का अध्ययन है. मैं वर्तमान में बीएड एमएड विभाग में एक पौधार्थी के रूप में कार्यरत हूँ. तो जी,
सर आपकी स्क्रीन आप
जैसे कि
शेयर.
हम जानते हैं कि आज स्मार्ट मोबाइल. जी मैम.
सर सॉरी टू आपको तो स्क्रीन आपकी दिखाई नहीं दे रही है.
नहीं यूजफुल मैम.
नहीं सर.
आपके पास है पूजा मैम इनका पीपीटी?
Sir, not
बलवीर
right.
मैम नहीं, तो विनीत जी आप डॉक्टर बलवीर को अपना पीपीटी भेज दीजिए। अच्छा
Yeah, he's doing it, sir.
अभी
Yes,
दिख रहा
sir.
है?
जी अब दिख रहा है। विनीत जी आप शुरू कीजिए, प्रारंभ कीजिए, आप कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं।
जी सर, थैंक यू। थोड़ा मैं समझ चाहूंगा कि थोड़ा सा टाइम ज्यादा लगा। जैसे कि हम जानते हैं कि आज स्मार्ट मोबाइल तकनीक की एक जीवन की महत्वपूर्ण आवश्यकता बन चुका है, और जीवन के प्रत्येक पहलू को स्मार्ट मोबाइल तकनीकी ने अपना प्रभाव से प्रभावित किया है। और वर्तमान समय में सभी देश एक दूसरे से तकनीकी रूप में आगे निकलने के लिए और में लगे हुए हैं। स्मार्ट मोबाइल तकनीकी के प्रभाव को हम शिक्षकों पर भी देख सकते हैं। उनकी शिक्षक प्रणाली किस तरह से है, और इस प्रणाली का प्रभाव उनके शिक्षण पर साफ साफ देखा जा सकता है। पिछले 3-4 वर्षों में हम देख सकते हैं कि किस तरह से हमारी शिक्षण प्रणाली को प्रभावित किया है। और जैसे कि कल भी हमने बताया था कि ये एक हमारे लिए एक स्वर्ण अवसर भी हुआ कि हम लोगों को टेक्नोलॉजी से अवगत होने का। और जैसे कि सीमा मैम ने भी बताया कि एक अभी हमें स्मार्ट मोबाइल या टेक्नोलॉजी के थ्रू एक दूसरे के संपर्क में एक जो कम्युनिकेशन गैप था वो दूर करने का किस प्रकार से अवसर मिला, ये एक तरह से स्वर्णिम अवसर भी हम लोगों को प्राप्त हुआ है ना। जैसे कि 21वीं शताब्दी के परिवेश के बाद स्मार्ट मोबाइल तकनीक का उद्भव हुआ। स्मार्ट मोबाइल तकनीकी का विकास बहुत बहुत तेजी से हो रहा है। पूरा विश्व स्मार्ट मोबाइल तकनीकी का प्रयोग अपने शैक्षिक, आर्थिक और समाज समृद्धि के लिए एक प्रभावी साधन के रूप में कर रहा है। हमारा देश एक बहुसांस्कृतिक एवं बहुभाषी देश है, और हमारी लगभग 70% जनसंख्या गाँव में रहती है, जिसकी भाषा प्रांत के आधार पर अलग अलग है। अतः जब हम पूरे देश की जनसंख्या को एक साथ लाने की, तकनीकी रूप से एक साथ लाने की दक्षता की बात करते हैं, तो विकास संभव तभी हो पाएगा जब सब लोगों को तकनीकी रूप से एक साथ जोड़ा जाए, चाहे वह ग्रामीण क्षेत्र हो, चाहे वह आपका शहरी क्षेत्र हो। कंप्यूटर हार्डवेयर, सॉफ्टवेयर और इंटरनेट स्मार्ट मोबाइल तकनीकी प्रणालियों का मूल रूप से आधार है। हम शिक्षकों के परिप्रेक्ष्य में अगर बात करें तो शिक्षक किस तरह से स्मार्ट मोबाइल तकनीकी का प्रयोग एक महत्वपूर्ण पहलू है। स्मार्ट मोबाइल शिक्षकों के लिए संबंधित शिक्षक संसाधन तथा आसानी से पहुंच देता है, जिससे वे शिक्षण में अधिक प्रभावी बन गए हैं। शिक्षकों के लिए शिक्षात्मक ऐप, ई पुस्तकें, ऑनलाइन संसाधनों, वेबसाइटों का उपयोग करके पठन पाठन में नवीनतम ज्ञान, अधिक अपडेट जानकारी रहते हैं। स्मार्ट मोबाइल शिक्षकों को विद्यार्थियों पर अधिक व्यक्ति पर्सनल अटेंशन देने के लिए भी एक सुविधा प्रदान कर रहा है। शिक्षक इंटरनेट, मैसेजिंग ऐप, ईमेल आदि के माध्यम से अपने छात्रों के साथ संपर्क में रहते हैं और उनके प्रश्नों का उत्तर बड़ी आसानी से दे सकते हैं। छात्रों के विकास की प्रगति को निगरानी, सुपरविजन करने का मौका भी स्मार्ट मोबाइल देता है, और उन्हें उनकी शिक्षा में संशोधन करने की सुविधा भी प्रदान करता है। स्मार्ट मोबाइल तकनीक अध्यापकों को अपने पाठ को रुचिकर बनाने के लिए उपयोगी उपकरण प्रदान करता है। स्मार्ट मोबाइल वीडियो लेक्चर, ग्राफिक्स प्रेजेंटेशन और अन्य मल्टीमीडिया सामग्री का उपयोग करके अपने छात्रों को शिक्षा का नया अनुभव दिला रहा है। इस प्रकार स्मार्ट मोबाइल तकनीक अध्यापकों के लिए एक शक्तिशाली साधन है, जो उन्हें शिक्षा क्षेत्र में नवीनतम ज्ञान, अधिक प्रभावी बनाने और छात्रों की शिक्षा को सुविधाजनक बनाने में मदद करता है। शोध के उद्देश्य, शिक्षक द्वारा सूचना संचार प्रौद्योगिकी के उपयोग में भूमिका का अध्ययन करना, आईसीटी का ज्ञान और शिक्षक की तकनीकी क्षमताओं का अध्ययन करना कि क्या हमारे शिक्षक स्मार्ट मोबाइल तकनीकी का प्रयोग करना जानते हैं या कितने दक्ष हैं, इसका भी इस स्थिति में अध्ययन करेगा। आईसीटी का उपयोग शिक्षक का आत्मविश्वास और प्रेरणा का अध्ययन करना, एक शिक्षक कितने आत्मविश्वास के साथ आईसीटी का प्रयोग कर रहा है, शिक्षक के विषय ज्ञान का आईसीटी के उपयोग को प्रभावित करना और अध्ययन करना, शिक्षक के व्यवहारिक विकास में संचार प्रौद्योगिकी के उपयोग में भूमिका का अध्ययन करना। कोड विधि में संभावित कोड सर्वेक्षण विधि का प्रयोग किया गया है। सर्वेक्षण विधि वर्तमान में प्रत्यक्ष से संबंधित है, जो अनुसंधान के अंतर्गत तथ्यों की स्थिति को वास्तविक रूप से निर्धारित करती है। शैक्षिक संस्थानों में मोबाइल ऐप के उपयोग से लाभ क्या क्या हो सकते हैं, इस विषय पर मैं बताऊंगा हूँ। सीखने की नई विधियां, शिक्षा क्षेत्र में अनुप्रयोग की शुरुआत से ही नई शिक्षण वीडियो की शुरुआत हुई है। मोबाइल एप्लीकेशन एवं मैसेज मजेदार गेम उपलब्ध है जो छात्रों को स्वयं विचार प्रक्रिया में, जैसे अभी सुबह मैंने बताया था, कि सेल्फ लर्निंग का मौका देते हैं और उन्हीं चीजों का एक अलग दृष्टिकोण से समझाने की मदद करते हैं। उन्नत अभिभावक शिक्षण संचार, जो अभिभावक पेरेंट्स और शिक्षक के बीच एक कम्युनिकेशन गैप था उसको बांटने का काम स्मार्ट मोबाइल ने किया है। अभिभावक शिक्षक संचार ऐप शैक्षिक संस्थानों की दीवारों से परे अभिभावक शिक्षक संबंध बनाने में मदद करते हैं। इससे शिक्षकों को अपने बच्चों के विकास के संबंध में अभिभावकों के प्रश्नों का उत्तर देने में सुविधा होती है। ई पुस्तकें और ऑनलाइन अध्ययन, आजकल स्टूडेंट को आमतौर पर ऑनलाइन पढ़ाई बहुत पसंद आ रही है। यही पर लाइब्रेरी ऐप और पुस्तक खोज ऐप सामने आते हैं। ये एप्लीकेशन छात्रों के लिए मोबाइल एप्लीकेशन में प्रयुक्त अध्ययन सामग्री खोलने में आसान बनाते हैं। विविध कार्य और बहुत से कार्य हम मोबाइल के थ्रू कर सकते हैं, जैसे स्कूल भुगतान और अन्य उद्देश्यों के लिए भुगतान मोबाइल एप्लीकेशन के माध्यम से किए जा सकते हैं। यह स्कूल में विभिन्न उद्देश्यों के लिए कतार में खड़े होने और फीस का भुगतान करने में प्रयास से बचाता है। नेक्स्ट है छात्रों और संस्थाओं के बीच कम्युनिकेशन गैप को कम करना। यह कहा जा सकता है कि पारंपरिक तरीकों का पालन करते हुए संस्थागत सभी छात्रों पर समान ध्यान नहीं दे सकते थे, हालांकि अब उन तक पहुंच आसान हो गई है। निष्कर्ष की बात करें तो मेरा तो सामाजिक रूप से इसलिए भी महत्वपूर्ण है क्योंकि वर्तमान युग तकनीकी युग है और हमारी पुरानी प्रचलित शिक्षण पद्धतियों पर चलकर शैक्षिक उद्देश्यों की पूर्ति नहीं की जा सकती। इसलिए समाज को तकनीकी रूप से सक्षम बनाने के लिए समाज में अध्यापकों और अधिगमकर्ताओं का तकनीकी रूप से कुशल होना अति आवश्यक है, तभी भारत के विकसित राष्ट्र श्रेणी में शामिल हो पाएगा। आईसीटी के परिचय के समय आईसीटी के परिचय में समय लगता है, इसलिए हमें वर्तमान और भविष्य के अध्यापकों में भी एक वो चीजें देखनी पड़ेंगी कि क्या वो तकनीकी रूप से किस प्रकार से सक्षम है पढ़ाने के लिए और कितने सक्षम है। शिक्षक द्वारा आईसीटी के उपयोग के लिए स्कूल प्रशासकों और कुछ मामलों में आसपास के समुदाय का समर्थन महत्वपूर्ण माना जाता है। यदि कम्युनिटी हमें सपोर्ट नहीं करेगी टेक्नोलॉजी को अपनाने के लिए तो हमारा कोई भी कार्य समय नहीं हो सकता। अभ्यास तथा साथियों को नेटवर्क के औपचारिक और अनौपचारिक समुदाय के अस्तित्व शिक्षक की पहल और गतिविधियों में आईसीटी की सहायता के लिए महत्वपूर्ण उपकरण हो सकते हैं। इस तरह से सहायता तंत्रों की मदद आईसीटी के उपयोग के माध्यम से की जा सकती है। शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में आईसीटी शुरू करने से सीखे गए सबक साझा करने की आवश्यकता है। एक दूसरे से बहुत जरूरी है कि हम इन चीजों को साझा करें। ये मेरा पेपर था। थैंक यू सो मच, आप लोगों ने बड़े ही ध्यान से सुना। थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू सो मच सर। हाँ जी सर, प्लीज स्टॉप शेयर कर दीजिए आप।
ओके मैम।
So we now move towards our fourth paper presenter, Palak Madan Sabarwal, research scholar, SGRR University, UP, India. Teaching and learning without textbooks, relationship between internet dependency and academic procrastination among adolescents across genders and localities. This is the title of her research. So Palak Madan, ma'am, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible here?
सर आप एक बार स्टॉप शेयर कर देंगे, ऊपर आपको दिखाई देगा स्क्रीन पे स्टॉप शेयर। नहीं हुआ अभी सर। ओके सर, थैंक यू। पलक मैम, काइंडली प्रेजेंट शेयर।
Yes, ma'am.
या मैम।
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, is it visible?
No ma'am, not yet.
पूजा मैम,
Yes, ma'am. Sir, I will.
आप जो रेडी है ना, पहले उन पेपर प्रेजेंटर्स को ले लीजिए, उनका भी टाइम।
So just a second. Should I? I'll try presenting. Palak ma'am, just a minute. Ma'am, just give me a minute, ma'am. Palak ma'am, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your slide? Palak ma'am, can you see the screen? I am sharing.
Okay, ma'am.
So you just keep telling me, next I will keep moving ahead, okay? You can start, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, one and all present here. Myself, Palak Manan Sabarwal, Research Scholar, SGI University. My topic of presentation is teaching and learning without textbook relation between internet dependency and academic procrastination among adolescents across genders and locality. Next slide. Yes. These days, one of the most important component of daily living in the internet. People from different socio-economic backgrounds and ages find it appealing due to its ease of reach. The internet has become the main medium of for students and is widely used in almost every field, particularly in education and leisure. Many entertainment options such as gaming, streaming, social networking, and communication are offered by internet applications which are widely available and simple to use in daily life. Next slide. Next. Next. Next slide. The objectives of my study is to determine the relationship between internet dependency and academic procrastination among total adolescent students. Next objective is to determine the effect of internet dependency on adolescent students locality-wise and gender-wise. To determine the effect of academic procrastination on adolescent students locality and gender-wise. Next slide, ma'am. The hypothesis of my study is there is no significant relationship between internet dependency and academic procrastination among total adolescent students. There is no significant effect in internet dependency and adolescent students locality-wise and gender-wise. There is no significant effect on academic procrastination of adolescent students locality-wise and gender-wise. Next slide, ma'am. Delimitation of my study is only the intermediate school in the Dehradun district are used for the study. The study includes adolescent students, girls, boys enrolled in the 11th and 12th grade at government aided and private intermediate schools located in the urban and rural area of Sehespur block of Dehradun district. Next slide. Tools used in the study are academic procrastination scale by A.K. Kalia and Manju Yadav, and the other one is internet dependency scale by Pramod S.K. and Dr. Raju. Variables are independent variable, internet dependency, and dependent variable is academic procrastination. Methodology or design of this study. The current study aims to examine the relationship between internet dependency and academic procrastination among adolescent students. It is descriptive and the researcher used the normative survey approach for this investigation while keeping the study aims in mind. The goal of descriptive research is to portray the current state of population group. Population and sample. The study is carried out on 100 adolescent students of secondary school of classes 11th and 12th. The population under study is the Sehespur block of Dehradun district. Secondary school pupils through the use of stratified random sampling technique. 100 secondary school pupils from 4 schools in Tehspur block of Dehradun district, 2 government and 2 non-government were chosen randomly. Statistical technique to test the Pearson correlation coefficient, two-way ANOVA and its p-values were calculated to find the relationship between academic procrastination and internet dependency among adolescent students. Analysis and interpretation. These are the tables. Next slide, ma'am. Next. Conclusion of this study. This study has shed important light on the relationship between internet dependency and academic procrastination of adolescent students of rural and urban area. The findings point to the possibility of strengthening students' academic self-discipline as a guard against internet dependence. The study also clarifies the role that parents and educators play, emphasizing the need of developing psychological resilience, self-regulated learning, and efficient time management techniques in order to lessen maladaptive behavior. Considering the encouraging sign of connection between internet dependency and academic procrastination, it is wise to keep an eye out for procrastinating tendencies in students and to start relevant interventions early on. This grassroots initiative could make a significant difference in resolving the problem. Next slide, ma'am. Next. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Palak, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now we proceed to our next presenter, and I would like to take the permission of the chair and co-chair. If we can allow Shruti Dwivedi, who was our second presenter, she's saying she's ready. Professor Dhawan and or Professor Siti?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
So Shruti ma'am, can you please present now?
Ma'am, am I audible and is my screen visible?
No, you are audible, but your screen is not visible.
Ma'am, now?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you please share the PPT? Because...
The screen is visible now.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, should I start?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Very good morning to everyone. I'm Shruti Dwivedi, a research scholar from the Department of Education, University of Lucknow. And thank you for providing me opportunity to present on this platform. And I'm going to present on the topic ubiquitous computing, devices, interfaces, and educational uses. Now,
please open your video also, ma'am. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, my video is open.
Ma'am, now you have stopped sharing.
Yes, ma'am, two things.
Okay.
Ma'am, can you please share the video was PPT for me, which I've sent?
Ma'am, just give me a minute.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
just doing screen share with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you stop sharing, ma'am, now, please, so that I can share?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, please go ahead.
So I'm going to present on the topic ubiquitous computing, devices, interfaces, and its educational uses. Next slide, ma'am. Now, before understanding the concept, how this ubiquitous computing is used in our education system, we need to understand the concept of ubiquitous computing. Ma'am, previous slide. By ubiquitous, we mean the property of being present everywhere and anywhere, or we can say omnipresent. So when this computing is accessible anywhere and at any time, it is known as ubiquitous computing. For example, usage of internet at any place in our houses, in the schools, in the libraries, and many more. Examples of the devices which is used in ubiquitous computing, they are wearables. For example, would we wear our smart watches, smart clothing, smart home devices like smart speaker, smart appliances, and embedded system, which include smart cities and environmental sensors. Ma'am, next slide. There are three interfaces in the ubiquitous computing, which are natural user interface, tangible user interface, and context-aware interface. In natural user interface, there is the technology of voice recognition and gesture, voice recognition and gesture. For example, Alexa and Google Assistants are the examples of natural user interface. Next is the context-aware interface, in which uses the location-based services and provide the services to the user accordingly. And next is a tangible user interface, which uses the technologies like augmented reality and haptic technology. Then what are the benefits of ubiquitous computing? The benefits of ubiquitous computing is that it enhances the efficiency and productivity, it improves the decision making, and it promotes the personalization, user-centric services. It increases the connectivity and accessibility. For sure, it enhances the safety and security, and it is energy efficient and sustainable. Now, when technology is integrated in our education, this ubiquitous computing becomes ubiquitous learning, or in short, we can say U-learning. Now, in this type of learning, this U-learning is present everywhere. We can access the knowledge information from the library, from around any town, any museum, from the beach, and at home, we can access the knowledge. Now, what are the benefits of ubiquitous learning? The benefits of ubiquitous learning is that we remain updated because of the internet. There is flexibility. Ma'am, next slide. The people from the remote areas are also able to access the information and knowledge. For example, the initiative started by a government like Swayam, or the online courses, MOOC courses like edX and Coursera. Development of innovative approaches. The information is permanent. Once the information is uploaded on the internet, it becomes permanent. It also offers immediacy. The interactivity is also increased when the learning is ubiquitous. It also promotes the collaborative learning, and as well as it increases the efficiency. And one of the most important benefits of U-learning is that it provides a real-time feedback, which generates a wide scope for constant improvement. But there are still challenges in U-learning which we need to overcome, which are privacy and security, infrastructure and communication barriers. Not everyone is having that level of technological infrastructure. Then content quality is there, computer ethics. Not every teacher is trained to that level. Disruption in studies, distraction, the students get distracted. Availability of the learning content. Plagiarism, unauthentic sources are also there. Now, the lack of learning, non-existence of practical knowledge. Many a times, no discussions happen in this kind of learning, and there's no universal protocol for the disciplinary measures. Next slide, ma'am. If we overcome these barriers, these challenges, then we can make the best use of this ubiquitous learning and make the learning more collaborative, adaptive, personalized, and context-related. One of the best examples I can present here of ubiquitous learning is this conference, which is being conducted, and we are able to access and collaborate and learn from this conference. Thank you. Ma'am, next slide.
There was next also. I thought you have said thank you. So should I share again?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, I've done that part. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much, Shruti ma'am. And now we move to our next presenter, Shalini Sharma, Assistant Professor, Department of Education, Saraswati College of Professional Studies, Ghaziabad, UP, India. Her title of research is Creating Online Learning Experiences. Shalini Sharma, ma'am. Shalini, ma'am, are you there?
I can see one Shalini Behel, but she's not Shalini Sharma.
Okay,
I don't think Shalini Sharma is.
right, ma'am. So, with the permission of the chair and co-chair, ma'am, please allow us that should we move to the next presenter, number 6?
Yes, please proceed.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. So we move to our 6th presenter, Dr. Sanjana Mishra, Vice Principal, Rahul College of Education, Maharashtra, India. And her title of research is From Classrooms to Cloud, Navigating Paradigm Shifts in Global Higher Education. Dr. Sanjana Mishra, kindly share your screen.
Sanjana, please unmute yourself.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, please share your screen.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, is it visible?
Not yet, ma'am.
Is it visible now?
No, ma'am, not yet.
Now, ma'am.
No, ma'am. Ma'am, first open the presentation, then come back to Zoom and share. Ma'am, don't do slideshow first.
Ma'am, can you share my PPT because
Ma'am, I
I'm
don't have
unable
your.
to catch.
Ma'am, I have only few PPTs, so that I have done.
Okay, I have already shared.
Ma'am, meanwhile, we can take the other presenter.
Sanjana ma'am, you please, we will take you next. We move on to our paper presentation 7. Ritu Dikshit, Assistant Professor, Institute of Teachers Education, Haryana, India. And her topic of research is Online Learning for Beginners. Ritu ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Myself, Ritu Dikshit, as assistant professor, and my co-author is Dr. Sunita Arora, as a principal from Institute of Teachers Education College. Now I am going to presenting the topic online learning for beginners. So, ma'am, what is online learning for beginners? Actually, online learning is an accessible and flexible way to acquire new knowledge from the comfort of your home. It involves various digital platforms and resources, such as interactive modules and virtual classrooms, allowing you to lead on space. Whether you are looking to enhance your career, explore again new qualification, and online learning offers a diverse course that cater to different interest and skill levels. And what about the benefits of online learning mode? Like flexibility. Learn at your own space, anywhere, cost effective, like lower cost and no commuting, and variety. There is a wide range of courses and subjects. Types of online learning mode: self-paced learning, learn at your own speed, no fixed schedule. Platforms कौन से हैं इसके मैम? Udemy, Coursera, and like Byju's and Unacademy. And instructor lead learning है इसमें real time live interaction with instructors. Platform है इसके Zoom, Microsoft Team, and blended learning, mix of online and face-to-face components. Platform Moodle है, Blackboard है. Massive open online courses हैं. Large scale courses, often free. Platform है Coursera and EDX. So there is tools for online learning mode, learning platforms, Udemy, Coursera, Khan Academy, Byju's, and Unacademy. Communication tools, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Meets. Assessment tools, online quizzes, peer reviews, and assignments. Setting up a learning space, find a dedicated space, quiet, comfortable, and free from distraction. Required tools, computer or tablet, stable internet connection, headphones, and a microphone for live session. Interactive with instructor and peers, like ask question, use chat or forum to clarify doubts, and group discussions, join online communities or peer study groups. Challenges and solutions. Staying motivated, solutions, set small achievable goals, and challenges like time management. Solution, use time management tools like calendar and reminders. So there is a conclusion: flexible and accessible, learn from anywhere at any time, cost effective, affordable learning with no travel expenses, wide variety of courses, choose from numerous subjects and disciplines. Self-paced, control your learning speed. Key to success, manage time well, stay motivated, and actively participate. Global opportunities, access to instructor and peers worldwide. Personal growth, are valuable tools for career advancement and lifelong learning. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, please stop share.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sure.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. And now we move to our paper presentation 8, that is Dr. Deepak Sharma, Principal, Mahabodhi Mahavidyalaya, B.Ed, Bihar, India. And his topic of research is Higher Education 4.0, Smart Pathways for Smart Future. Dr. Deepak Sharma. Yes, sir. So kindly unmute yourself. Dr. Deepak. Dr. Deepak, kindly unmute yourself. We cannot hear you. And sir, please put your video on. Dr. Deepak. Hello. Hello, Dr. Deepak. Hello, sir. Please put your unmute yourself. We cannot hear you. Sir, are you there? So we can see your screen, but you have to unmute yourself. You are the co-host. I request the co-convener, Dr. Balbir Kaur, to kindly advise, or the chair. Ma'am, what do I do? Because, sir, I called sir, but
Ma'am, he is already a co-host. Wait,
yes,
he's
ma'am.
mute.
Ma'am,
I'm asking to
ma'am,
unmute.
I've already called him. He said okay. So
He should be able to unmute himself since he is a co-host. I don't know why he's unable to do so.
ma'am, he is unmuted only, I think. If just check.
We are not able to hear his audio.
Tell
Yes,
her
There is some
to
technical glitch.
I think.
leave and then again join.
Sir, we cannot hear you, please, at all.
Pooja ma'am,
Yes, sir. Sir, should we
respected chair asks that he should rejoin.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Sir, please, can you rejoin? तो ठीक हो जाएगा.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Now we can hear you, please. Please proceed.
Yeah. Technical problem is here.
Sir, are you able to join? I mean, speak, so kindly. We
Yeah,
can see your slides,
but
sir. You can
mm,
start.
yeah, my slides
Yes.
is not visible on my desktop. What will do? Unable to. My presentation not visible, ma'am.
So we can see it, very clearly. And now your voice is also there, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, please
But-
restrict to the timings also.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Sir, should we take you again? Like maybe we can proceed.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So you just stop share. Please stop share your screen. ऊपर red color का. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, sir. So we move towards our paper presenter number 9. Vijay S. Jodha, research scholar, K.R. Mangalam University, Gurugram, Haryana. And his topic of research is the politicization of pedagogy and knowledge production in eminent Western universities, rethinking role models for higher education in India. Vijay, sir?
Thank you very much, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Thank you, ma'am.
Kindly
First, my
share.
thanks to Ctpd and to all of you, yourself, Dr. Pooja Sharma and Balbir ma'am and all other eminent scholars from all over the world who are participating. It's a very, very amazing opportunity, especially for people like us who are new to the field. So a big thank you to all of you to begin with. I'm an independent filmmaker, photographer, working for almost 35 years. I'm doing a PhD at K.R. Mangalam now. So this paper obviously is part of my study. And I really appreciate Dr. Pooja Verma, a professor who's guiding us in all of this. So a big thank you to her and the faculty I have there, School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I'll put my slide on sharing mode, ma'am, to begin with.
Yes,
And we can
yes,
get my
sir.
presentation, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're able to see my screen. The slides are visible now, eh?
No, sir. Not yet.
Now it is visible, ma'am.
Sir, not yet. Sir, you stop share. I'll share your PPT, sir. Just give me. Yes, sir. Just a minute.
We have redone the whole slides to make it shorter. It was, as you know,
Okay.
originally
Okay,
10-minute affair. I'll just redo that, ma'am. Maybe if I come out and come in again, maybe it'll just work. Just to give me a half a minute.
Sure, sir.
Ma'am, ask the next presenter to be prepared.
Okay. Rohini ma'am, are you there? Rohini ma'am, we request you to kindly be after. If Rohini ma'am is not there, then after that we have Dr. Anita Sahai, Assistant Professor, Satyug Darshan Institute of Education.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, we'll run your slides then. Not to worry. The one I had shared with you earlier, we'll just try to skip a little bit since
Okay, sir.
shorten the whole presentation.
Just give me 1 second.
Take time.
Yes, sir. Just a second.
Sure.
So this is the one?
That's right, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So title we already know. This is focusing on the issue of politicization, pedagogy, and knowledge production. We'll go to the next slide, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very quickly, you don't have to read all of that. I'll just explain what has happened. It is common knowledge. All of us know that Western universities, a lot of them 100, 200, even 300 years old, they have been the biggest influence on academia worldwide. And because they have a rich historical legacy, as we know. Second, they are producing bulk of knowledge all over the world. The scholarship that we see, regardless of discipline, it is coming largely out of Western universities and education institutions. And they have become the biggest multicultural spaces in the world. So if you look at it, you will find the most prominent scholar, scientist, researcher we have. He can be or she can be from any part of the world, but it's very likely that they are based out of one of these Western institutions or working closely with them. And as we know, these institutions are producing bulk of knowledge, scholarship, and getting most of the awards and recognition also. Bulk of Nobel laureates, for example, if you see, they are largely from one single country, the US. Even institutions having different subjects dealing with various countries. For example, India, you find one of the biggest centers for study of Sanskrit is not in India, but in Germany. The biggest center for study of Indian political system, Indian economics is not in India, it is out of UK and US. So those kind of things have made them very, very prominent, not just for Western world or global world, but especially for developing countries like India. And my project or rather presentation is looking at how things are changing and they may no longer be the right role model for us. So I will go to the main presentation, ma'am. Next slide, please. We'll skip this. Keywords are not needed. Next. So I've already explained what has happened. Now, question is this, that why we continue to be dominated for good or ill by these institutions. One part, we have to understand that despite a very, very nationalistic approach, which a lot of the countries such as India, the whole decolonized world has taken, that let us create our own frameworks, let us create our own methodologies, etc., because we have our own challenges and interests. Despite that, we have not been able to move away from this. So we'll look at that, why that is happening. Next slide, please. Now, what has happened is this, that why we need to reassess. That is a question, not just for its own sake, but what has happened is that a lot of backstory as well as present part of these institutions has certainly become more obvious. Number one, a history of institutionalized prejudice, as I mentioned. A lot of these institutions, they may be very, very prominent, but they have a whole long history of racial discrimination, discrimination based on gender, religion, whether it's student body, the people they're taking in, or teaching positions. They're also very involved in complicity in slavery or using slave labor to create those institutions physically. Foundations of these institutions have been very, very questionable a lot of times. Good example is Yale. America's third oldest institution, a prominent Ivy League member. Most people do not know it. It was made with money donated by Yale, who was a British government president who was based in India, in Chennai, was trafficking in drugs and Indian slaves. And he was even arrested and put in jail by the British for his corruption. So he's the man he also donated a lot of money to Harvard. So you have a lot of these very, very questionable funding, number two. Number three, they have provided a lot of things which have damaged the whole world. Almost all the Nazi leaders came out of prominent German institutions and European institutions. Harvard, MIT, Chicago universities have worked very, very closely with various Latin American dictatorships. They pushed a lot of anti-poor, anti-people policies. So they are very poor models for countries like India, in my opinion, because we are trying to use education not just for literacy or training people in certain skills. We see education, and especially higher education, as a tool to deliver social justice to disadvantaged sections and the people who have not been treated well in the past. So these institutions which have themselves have such a poor record cannot be a very good example for us. Next slide, please, ma'am. So these are the older, this is the legacy part. These are the not so very unsavory past, which makes them a poor role model. Now coming to the present, how are these academic institutions doing? Let us not overstate the fact. It remains true even today that they are still producing bulk of the knowledge. So we cannot dismiss that. That is a very valuable contribution all these institutions are making, and we should acknowledge that. Yet, we should also look at what is happening in the kind of trends which are emerging, especially in prominent institutions. The stifling of open discourse on ideological lines, all kinds of gatekeeping. My paper gets into that in a lot of detail. We cannot do it here, but essentially the concept of academic institution being a neutral space for all kinds of voices, for discussing and working out new ideas is something that is rapidly shrinking in Western world. Next slide, please. So apart from these, you also have issues of academic dishonesty and conflict of interest. You have a lot of pharma companies supporting, as it is common knowledge in the case of, say, the COVID Wuhan virus, we know fully well what kind of role some of these institutions played and how they are backed by pharma companies to pursue certain kind of research to certain outcomes. So even institute like Harvard, we find, the president engaging in ethical research, plagiarism, all these blemishes are very, very obvious. So that is something which is the other part of it. We'll go to the next slide, please. Now, what happens is that all of this has a very, very serious impact on pedagogy, which is what we are focusing on. And because these institutions focus and their influence is not restricted to their respective country, they affect the entire global scenario, and they especially affect developing countries like India because we look up to them. And their variety confirmation, raising of tribalism, the deepening divide between theory and important the critical thinking, which is the most biggest contribution to the academic world, is being impacted by these issues. Next slide, please. So I'll not repeat it. It's kind of going over what I said in the previous one, the decline of academia as free space for free exchange of ideas. We'll go to the next slide, please. Now, what happens to countries like India? As I said, we cannot hold them as role models. We cannot emulate them unquestioningly. Thirdly, we cannot see them that these are the ways in which we can shape our pedagogy or academic practice in general and all of that. So we need to find our own way out. Next slide, please. Now, how do we go forward? These are some ideas which I thought of. Cultivating, these are the goals which we have. I already mentioned that social justice goal is a very, very prominent goal in our case. Ensuring equity, justice, especially in learning opportunities. So those are things which we have to deal with. Western countries don't have that challenge anymore. So they managed to create universal education and achieve very high standards for most of their people. So they are in a different boat, you can say. So now how do we go forward? Some of the issues have been dealt with very, very brilliantly by my other presenters. I'll not go into that, especially the second part, as you see, harnessing technology to promote equity, inclusivity, and dialogue. Yesterday, we had a very good presentation which focused on inclusivity tools for the less. So this is the one. We'll go to the next slide, please. So to conclude, when I say that we need to deprioritize our concerns, focus on ideas which actually address our concerns and build on our own legacy. As earlier it was, when we had the introductory remarks, that time it was also pointed out that we have one of the oldest in Nalanda, Taxila. These are the oldest institutions in the world, attracting students from all over the world. So those are the examples which should inspire us. Secondly, we have a very huge, if you look at the data, because people will say, do we actually have the resources to do this autonomous path at all? Answer is yes. We have the second largest higher education system. We have 43.3 million people enrolled. And next slide, please.
So kindly adhere to time.
Yes, ma'am, just wrapping up. Next, when you look at it, we are also spending huge money overseas to send students there. In 2023, we spent $60 billion for our students to study abroad, largely in Western institutions. So the resources are certainly in place. We just have to figure out how to do it, and we can certainly do it. When people say, how can we influence it? Well, we have, if you look at our whole decolonization process and all our freedom struggle, that has influenced, be it from Dr. King, civil rights in USA to apartheid in South Africa and Dr. Mandela. They're all inspired by India, by Gandhian struggle and all of that. So we can very easily influence everybody, even in the education sphere and pedagogy in particular. Thank you. These are my references. There are a lot of them, but that's it, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And we move on to our paper presenter number 8, Dr. Deepak Sharma, Principal, Mahabodhi Mahavidyalaya, Bihar, India. Sir, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Yes.
So kindly share your screen. Yes, sir. It is visible. You can proceed.
Okay. Okay, good morning, ma'am. My topic is Higher Education 4.0 Smart Pathway for a Smart Future. Yeah, the first industrial revolution was built on steam kiln. The second industrial revolution humans harnessed the new energies of petrocarbon and electric energy. The third industrial revolution has seen information technology seeing incredible processing index from mainframe computers to mobile that connect individuals across continents instantaneously. Currently, we are entering a fourth industrial year that will be based upon a combination of the existing and the new, and it is a year that will bring more significant changes than everything that had gone. Education 4.0 in a way complete the phenomena of the digital integration in our everyday lives, where human beings and machines are aligned to take out of solvent, troubleshoot, and of course, discover new theory of innovation. In education 4.0, information is available ubiquitously and teaching and learning process has become dynamic. The future of education 4.0 can change economic utilization of information in a remarkable way. To address the needs of industrial revolution 4.0 IR 4.0 in education, higher learning institutions must keep on integrating an innovative method to enhance the teaching and learning process. Vidya, knowledge is a means unique signifier, a sacred treasure. It's sower, providence, fame, and delight. Indeed, the guru of gurus, Vidya, is a friend in foreign, and knowledge is God. Not wealth, but knowledge is worshipped by the kings. And so, one without knowledge is like an animal, unpredictable and challenging. Times ahead. This paradigm shift is opening floodgates for innovation and courageous change maker with workable idea. In this brand new world, innovative and disruptive ideas are going to be the real capital. Ideas and knowledge have become a true source of capital. A human brain is fertile land of ideas, germination and knowledge generation. One monetizing idea can create millions of jobs and billions of dollars. In this super fast age of ideas, we have to live and sustain. The higher education sector has to cope up to meet these challenging times and future. We have to revamp and redesign every micro element of our system of higher education. The conventional structures and practices of higher education will not survive in this change-driven environment. Professor Raghunath Maselkar said, education is future and future is education. Now some questions. Are we and our university and our colleges really prepared for that? Have we changed our mindset and outdated systems? Do we have futuristic approaches and policies in place? Are our brains engaged in brainstorming? Are we going to think of ourselves as always good doors? Then you are ready to become an Apple or most trusted brand. In Indian higher education context, Takshashila or Nalanda University have been a part of our proud history. Do we have the passion to rewrite new history, or we want to submerge ourselves in the pages of history by simply ignoring to understand the ground realities and build our future in the true sense? All these are relevant questions which will test our mettle and term of our sustainability and future readiness. Many problems and many solutions. Humanity across the world is facing many problems. Most of them are man-made and some of them born out of nature's fun. For that too, we human beings are responsible to greater extent, such as floods, cyclones, earthquakes, volcanoes, climate change, and greenhouse effects, deforestation, extreme exploitation of natural resources. In terms of man-made calamities, we have wars, caste, cultural, religious, violent conflicts, acute poverty condition of about 1 million people, jobless growth, deterioration of human values, encroachments in forests, urbanization, and diminishing fertile land. Several challenges humanity is going to face in near future for providing food for all, water for all, employment for all, education for all, health for all. Education of all kinds of discrimination, such as lack of social and gender justice, remove divides such as economic, social, and digital divide. Therefore, the global community promotes inclusive green growth, IGG, growth and prosperity with an inclusive and environment-friendly approach. Which system will provide solutions to these many problems? In my opinion, only the higher education sector and its bright and well-trained, brilliant brains are capable of providing solutions. If our higher education system is competent and equipped enough to undertake these tasks, do we have our commitment for these larger missions of our planet?
So we request you to adhere to the time limit of
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Okay, ma'am. Are we not driven by business and profit goals rather than the global goals of sustainability of humanity and biodiversity? Other than these four components, yeah, the movement of education need education system. Yeah, first redesign the learning space with the usage of multi-tiered collaborative tables and smart board. Second, utilize diverse pedagogy such as pedagogy, and cybergogy. Third, employ fluid and organic curriculum where higher learning institutions need to adopt the innovations without being tied by traditional curriculum practices. Fourth one is incorporating the usage of technological advancements in teaching and learning process. The latest technological advancements in 4.0, we can use the 3D printing in which student view is not only limited to textbook pictures. By using this 3D printer, students will have access to 3D models of different elements. And augmented reality is the second. Virtual reality, VR, we can use in classroom. Cloud computing is also hologram, biometrics, paper-thin smartphones, multi-touch LCD screen, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, big data, QR codes, and creativity is the cornerstone of AI. Yes, only 30 seconds only, madam. Creativity and disruptive system of education and inspiration. Human beings have always been creators, mentors, and discoverers. The education of tomorrow, the teaching pedagogies, and the content of education have to be redesigned. What worked yesterday may be sufficient today, but may be inadequate or irrelevant in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, kindly stop sharing your screen.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes,
yes.
sir. Thank you, sir. So now we move on to our next paper presenter, number 10, Rohini Kumari, Research Scholar, School of Humanities, K.R. Mangalam University, Gurugram, Haryana, India. Our topic of research is Global Insights on the Digital Divide in Education, Lessons from Around the World. So I think she has not yet joined the track. So with the permission of the chair, should we move on to paper presenter number 11? Because we have been...
Yes, please proceed.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. So we proceed to paper presentation number 11. Anita Sahai, Assistant Professor, Satyug Darshan Institute of Education and Research, Faridabad, Haryana, India. Her topic of research is a review on digital divide, addressing concerns of equity. Over
you,
to you.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good afternoon to honorable delegates of Ctpdcon-Era 2024, and thanks for giving me this opportunity. I'm Anita Sahai, Assistant Professor, Satyam Darshan Institute of Education and Research, Faridabad, Haryana, India. And title of my paper is A Review on Digital Divide, Addressing Concern of Equity. Now, overview of the presentation is introduction, review of related literature, objective methodology, dimensions of digital divide, impacts of digital divide, equity concern, steps taken by Indian government to bridge digital divide, challenges, the way forward, discussion, suggestion, and conclusion. Now, in today's era, ICT offers many advantages in on field of human lives, but digitalization is not happening equally all over the world. Because imbalance exists, this is known as digital divide. Digital divide is a gap between people who have access to the modern information and communication technology and those who don't. This includes inequalities in access to computers, smartphone, internet, digital literacy. When the term digital divide was first used in late 20th century, it described the gap between those with cell phone access and those without it. However, its meaning is constantly changing with the advancement of technology. Now it is known as inequalities in access, internet access for socioeconomic reasons, geographical differences in internet speed, unequal access to 4G, 5G network for mobile internet, unequal access to computers or mobile service, and gap in digital literacy due to generation or education gaps. Due to COVID-19, everywhere lockdown imposed, and it seemed that everything is stopped. But ICT enabled us to get on our lives, but the reality is not the same. As reported by figure shown by ITU, that in 2020, half of the inhabitants, nearly 2.9 billion people, do not even access to internet. According to a Statista report, April 2024, 67.1% of world population have access to the internet access, while 32.9% are disconnected or offline. Now, the objectives of my studies are to explore the dimension and repercussion of digital divide, to reveal the disparities in technology access and digital skills, to discuss potential strategies for diminishing these inequalities and disparities. Now, the methodology, in terms of methodology, my review is totally based on a qualitative approach, and source of data is secondary data, which comes from notable studies, projects, IDU reports, journals, articles. And the dimension of digital divides are, the first one is access to device connectivity, that is hardware access or internet access. Second is digital literacy and skill, that is basic digital skills or advanced digital skills. Next is uses and benefits, that is utilization of digital tools in our daily life, in our education system or e-commerce, and gender device. As mobile use is spreading, but it is not spreading equally, but women are still lagging behind it. Economic and social benefits. Now, the impacts, it adversely affect the all aspects of human life. So that is educational equity, that remote learning is not possible. Access to e-resources are also adversely affected. Teachers are also affected, and the impact of social, spatial education. In if you are going to economic opportunity, job markets are only for those who have skills, digital skills. And if you become a successful entrepreneur, then digital knowledge is very essential. And in healthcare access also, telehealth and health information also adversely affected due to digital divide. Okay, now the next is civic engagement and social inclusion, as information access and social connectivity all are very much possible only by the digital access. And political empowerment and mobilization and e-governance initiative is also affected adversely. Now, UN include the reduction of digital divide in its sustainable development goal. So initiative has already taken by world, and a literacy program alliance for affordable internet specific in the specific area of Africa, Asia, Latin America is already taken, and free access. And Starlink is a project promoted by tycoon Elon Musk, and it is about to launch a satellite into space to provide high speed internet and global coverage to affordable prices. Now, steps taken by Indian government to bridge digital wise, Digital India initiative. It is an umbrella program that covers multiple projects.
Supreme Court of India also stated that right to access to internet as a fundamental right, and national education policy also give a special attention on digital education. The other programs by Government of India is optical fiber network is a big project which aimed to provide broadband connectivity to over 2 lakh Gram Panchayats of India. Unnati project is for poor students, and Internet Sati program is to give digital education to rural women. Diksha is One Nation, One Digital platform. Gyan Doot is mainly based on government to citizen facility distribution, and it is started in Dhar district. Next is digital mobile library, MOOCs or massive open online courses, and Siksha and
Please adhere to
and
time.
Desi.
Time, ma'am.
Are also now some of the challenges are discussed here also. This like infrastructure development, like budget mobile or 5G is essential for this, promoting digital literacy not only for students but also their family members, and promotion of regional languages, as all the contents are available in English, so state government must work on it. TRI must work on call drops and redressal. Now the and cyber security is also important aspects, and role of regulators is regarding the licensing and taxation to minimize entry barriers. Now we come to conclusion that digital divide is in education is a serious problem that needs to be solved, so that all person in the world, including students, teachers, parents, businessmen, can have equal access to opportunity. But closing the digital divide is not a one-time effort. It requires ongoing commitments, adaptation, and innovation. So by closing digital divide, we create a fair and just society where everyone has the opportunity to thrive academically, professionally, and personally. These are the references, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, kindly stop share. We now proceed to our next paper presentation, number 12. Dr. Jugnu Khattar Bhatia, Principal Satyug Darshan Institute of Education and Research, Faridabad, Haryana. And Miss Amita will be presenting the topic. The topic is Cyber Hygiene and Viksit Bharat 2047, Building a Resilient Digital Future. Over to you, Miss Amita. Amita ma'am? Amita ma'am, can you please unmute yourself and also put your video on? We can see your screen, but we cannot hear you. And please put your video on.
I'm sharing her screen, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, your screen is already visible. We can see your screen. We cannot hear you, but have you started? The screen is visible.
This is Anita ma'am's screen.
Yes, ma'am, I am sharing her screen.
Okay.
As she instructed me to help her. That's why.
Miss Amita Kumari, ma'am, can you please start? The screen is already there. Can you please proceed with the presentation?
Ma'am, please unmute her. She is calling me and said that she is unable to unmute.
Now she is unmuted, ma'am. She can present. I mean, she can speak.
You are, hello.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. Please proceed.
Okay.
And kindly
Good
start
afternoon.
time.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I, Dr. Amita Kumari, Assistant Professor, Satyu Darshan Institute of Education and Research. My topic is Cyber Hygiene and Viksit Bharat 2047, Building a Resilient Digital Future. Next slides, ma'am. The vision of the Viksit Bharat 2047 hangs on a robust, secure digital infrastructure as India accelerates its digital transformation across the various sectors from financial service and healthcare to education and governance. Cyber hygiene become a paramount. Cyber hygiene refer to the practice that individual and the organization adopt to maintain online safety and the data security by fostering a culture of the cyber awareness and the implementing strong a cyber hygiene practice. India can safeguard its digital future, empower its citizens, and propel itself toward becoming a developed nation. Next slides, ma'am. The importance of the cyber hygiene. Effective cyber hygiene practice a mitigate these threats and ensure a secure digital environment. Strong password, software update, data backup, user awareness, and secure network. Next slides, ma'am. Building a cyber resilient Viksit Bharat 2047. Building a cyber resilient India require a multi-program approach. National cyber security stages develop a robust legal framework investing in cyber security infrastructure, digital literacy program, जैसे raise awareness, develop educational resources, incentivizing secure infrastructure, providing tax break, collaboration. Next slides, ma'am. The current state of the cyber hygiene in India, effective cyber hygiene practice a mitigate these threats, ensure a secure digital environment. These practice encompass positive government initiative, focus on the digital literacy, growth of the cyber security industries, challenges limited awareness, weak password management, patchwork approach, and skilled workforce shortage. Next slides, ma'am. The importance of the cyber hygiene for Viksit Bharat 2047. Cyber hygiene is crucial for the Viksit Bharat 2047 to ensure a robust cyber security practices safeguard. It is a digital data and citizen. Here are the several reasons why cyber hygiene is essential. Protection against cyber threats, preservation of the digital assets, privacy and the data security, and compliance and the legal requirement. Resilience against cyber incident, promotion of the cyber awareness, economic and national security, and technological advantagement. Next slides, ma'am. Strategies initiative for the enhanced cyber resilience, multi-stakeholder collaboration, investing of the cyber security infrastructure, promoting a culture of cyber awareness, strengthening of the legal framework, capacity building. By prioritizing and the implementing of these initiatives, India can a significant enhance its cyber hygiene and build resilient and digital future for Viksit Bharat 2047. A secure digital environment foster trust in online service, innovation, and the attract investment in properly India towards become a developed nation. Next slides, ma'am. Conclusion. Cyber hygiene in the cornerstone of the secure digital future of our Viksit Bharat 2047 by the prioritizing best practice and fostering a culture of the cyber security awareness. India can safeguard its digital infrastructure, empower its citizens, and propel itself towards becoming a developed nation. A robust cybersecurity posture will not only protect sensitive data and the critical infrastructure, but also foster trust in online service and e-governance initiative, ultimately contributing to India economic growth and technological advantage. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And please kindly stop sharing. Now we proceed to our next paper presenter, number 13, Ajita Priya Jamala, Lecturer Chemistry, University of Technology and Applied Sciences, Muscat, Oman. And her topic of research is the impact of AI in education, a review. Ajita, ma'am. Ajita ma'am, your screen is visible. You have to put your video on. You can slideshow if possible.
Ajita ma'am, please unmute yourself. Balveer ma'am, check whether she is a co-host or not. Miss Ajita, kindly unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Dr. Balveer, check.
Sir, she is the co-host.
Okay. Miss Ajita, you are the co-host.
Yes. Can you hear me now? Now I can.
Yes, yes. Please,
Yes, ma'am.
please.
Okay, ma'am. Please
Okay,
proceed.
I will. Good afternoon. Is it past noon? Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Just a sec. Yes. Today in this presentation, it's about impacts of digital education. I just want to go into critical analysis, but it's just going to be limited timing. So it's just going to be a review of that. In this presentation, I'll be discussing about teaching, learning, grading, and assessment and management, a little bit about disadvantages of AI and the future of AI. It's good to be here. Now, over the past decade, AI applications have seen significantly advanced, and especially in our generation, we feel like we're at the pinnacle of taking AI benefits. For example, here we see how the AI applied to the transition from a tube television to modern wall mount systems. The shift from the traditional TVs to modern wall mount screens has revolutionized the way AI has integrated into our home entertainments over the years. And today we can use our laptops, our tablets, even our mobile phones for this. So thus modernization of home entertainment has changed, not just home entertainment. We see AI has influenced various sectors, especially in education. So our focus of our study today is all about AI making a significant difference in transforming educational practices. So what is it? It's a field of study as a result, the innovations and developments which have culminated, in computers and machines and various other robots. So here we see that the cognitive abilities, learning, adaptability, and decision-making, all these have been changed with the AI-powered tools in all sections of the society. So originally, as you can see, the traditional chalk and talk method of education, where teachers stand in front of classroom and lecture while students passively absorb this. But today, now it is rapidly changing and evolving into something new with the advancement of AI and robots. The future of education is increasingly shaped by these cobots or collaborative robots and human-like machines. Thus, we can see that the technology is now taking over and redefining the educational landscape. So AI, computers, robots have been introduced. Yes. Did I?
Continue, ma'am.
Continue.
Sorry, okay. So early childhood education, we can see that it's being used, and similarly the web-based online education the grading and assessment in terms of AI algorithms for the teachers, which has gained increasing interest year by year. And of course, the AI in education has been incorporated into administration, along with the instruction, teaching, and learning, and analyzing and understanding different artificial intelligence tools in education. So especially in teaching, it's more confined to personalized learning, where students learn from the basic units, where like the robots being applied, wherein they are educated at the lower level, the spelling, the pronunciation, and adjusting to their own speed. And online education, simply from downloading to today, the assignments have been graded. And we are, most of us in our universities now are have been introduced to e-learning, and with the blessings of the e-learning in the universities, it's been it's an ongoing experience with the students and the teacher interactions, and made them more interactive. So the pedagogical methods have changed over over these for few years, and many people have talked about it. The COVID has been a blessing in disguise in this manner. And coming to the applications which are available in different fields, I may not, maybe a little outdated in the different platforms of AI that are available here. I've just mentioned here intelligent tutoring, active math, Y2 Atlas Comet, several apps are available for the students on the internet, where they can freely access and then utilize according to their needs. Coming to, so AI powered tools further enhance accessibility. At the same time, we see that not just the cognitive problems due to human functions, intelligence have been solved. The visual perception, speech recognition, translations between languages are prevalent in many countries where they are utilizing these. And this also, they are including vital virtual learning, virtual labs, data analysis, and perceptions. And when it comes to grading and assessment, it's been a blessing for all of us, those of us who are utilizing these tools have further enhanced the accessibility. At the same time, teachers are mainly benefited from this, because we are saving a lot of time, and we can focus on other things. When it comes to scholars and professionals, they are able to exchange the knowledge, their empirical findings with the world at large, because they are connected through internet, and then they have various ways of exchanging and coming to analyze their data as well. And thus, that's what exactly we're doing right now. This conference itself is an example of that. And when it comes to management, administrative tasks, right? Many of them have been automated, like in many universities, the timetabling, the exam scheduling, enrolling, and other processes, making the educational institutions more and more efficient. Now, before I go to disadvantages, I just want to mention that when it comes to the disadvantage, some of the other speakers have spoken. Eventually, teaching jobs are going to be taken up by the robots and other means of AI. Security breaches in the data that is available out there, and the cost and equal opportunity, it's a very big thing. Is the whole world population going to access this technology? And what's the future of it? So the survey done in Oman by my university students revealed that 97% of them believe that there's a vast difference between the traditional teaching and the digital literacy. But majority of them say that it's good to use some common tools, AI tools. Already they are using them, Ctpd, Siri, Google Assistants, and the like. And more than 50% of them in the surveys said that it's inevitable that it's inevitable that AI is part of their education. It's there in the future as well, has both positive as well as negative effects that impact in the world. So the negative impacts, as we get to use to it, we will know more and more. Many students responded that there's a joy in learning using various AI tools, such as communication, content correction, and virtual reality labs. They really enjoy it. Even virtual lab itself is also very good, but virtual reality is a bit expensive. It's not available for all. They enjoy it, and there's a joy in learning using these AI tools, even from the childhood. So further, they say that they believe it is less expensive here. So now this being developed, they have their resources, so they feel like it's cheaper here anyway. Although it's easy to access information and And this, they believe, accelerates their learning process. So when it comes to the future, AI has indeed revolutionized all aspects of the society. And further, AI assistance is obviously in all aspects of our lives, the powerful pedagogical tools. So in conclusion, I just want to say, one may think we are still dealing with machines. I want to express one of my observations in children, and especially my niece and nephews. Their behavioral change is very obvious. The way they speak, they talk in I don't want to say machine language, but it sounds to me like they are talking in machine languages because they are watching their cartoons, they watch the play shows, whatever it is, even if it is, math or, other subjects that they see on their tablets or anything like that. And very important and prominent observation is they are less expressive in their emotions. And it seems to me, this is the biggest concern. Yeah, I'm ending. This is the last statement. It is the biggest concern that we as educators should be looking into, because when children are growing without emotions, they are going to be less humane and more machine-like, and concern has to be addressed. Otherwise, there's a question of human existence in the future. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining. And now we move on to our next paper presenter, number 14, Tapasya Raj Bakkar, research scholar.
Dr. Pooja?
Yes, sir.
Just give me 1 minute.
Yes, sir. Sure. Sir.
I will introduce here two persons, Professor Tanya Gupta, Dr. Seema ma'am and Dr. Siti. Dr. Tanya Gupta is Secretary General of Ctpd India, and Professor Eugene also with us, and he's associated with us last year, and he's from Canada. Professor Eugene and Professor Tanya Gupta. Welcome you both. Now, Dr. Pooja, you can continue.
Welcome, sir, and welcome, ma'am. And now we proceed with our paper presentation number 14, Tapasya Raj Bakkar, research scholar, School of Education, Shobit Institute of Engineering and Technology, Meerut. And her topic of research is the tech-touch dilemma, MOOC, and its effect on the psychological well-being of the students. Tapasya, ma'am, kindly share your screen and please put your video on.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone present. Is my screen visible to all?
Yes, ma'am. And if you can do it, slideshow, please.
Sure, ma'am. I'm just trying.
Yes, ma'am. And kindly adhere to the time, please.
Sure, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm unable, sorry.
It's fine, ma'am. You can
okay. Now is it visible to all?
Yes, ma'am, it is. Please go ahead. Please proceed.
Good afternoon to all present. I, Tapasya Bakkar, a research scholar from Shobit University, is here to present my paper on tech-touch dilemma and its effect on the psychological well-being of students. Online schooling is evolving quickly. Online schooling is evolving quickly, bringing with it mass open online courses, MOOC, that many students worldwide find appealing for easy access to good learning material. However, along with this convenience comes a problem known as the tech-touch dilemma, which raises concern about how it might affect the students' mental well-being. You see, MOOC platforms are getting super high-tech with AI and virtual helpers, making learning super personalized and big scale. But all this tech might make it harder for students and teachers to connect on a personal level, which could mess with how supported students feel and their overall well-being. Coming to my next slide. Benefits of digitalization. If we introduce anything, of course, the first thing that we focus upon are the benefits of anything that we are introducing. And recently with MOOC, a lot of benefits are there. Well, when COVID time struck, that was the time when we all came to know the importance of online platforms And of course, flipped classes, remote classrooms really came up with this particular problem. Access to information. Internet has a lot of information that helps with education and personal growth. Social connection, digital tools let young people make friends and stay close with people far away. So many apps like FB, Insta, and many more has brought the world closer, and people are now more closer to each other, which was very difficult previously. Creativity. Talking about creativity, online platforms give young people chances to show their creativity through art, social media, and online groups. Today, anything uploaded, you never know, might get viral and a person might become famous overnight. So this is another thing which is one of the benefits of digitalization. Now, if I talk about its effects on the youth, number one is cyberbullying, a very common known term being used all over now, especially in schools and colleges. Cyberbullying, people can bully others online because they can hide their identity, causing more of it. Social comparison. Yes, social media can make people compare themselves to others and feel bad, hurting their self-esteem, mental health. Good example is through FB, Insta, etc. You may see that people make their fake identities or they upload things which are not actually in real happening with them, but then they do it. And then we sometimes feel that our friends are doing much better than us, and it can lead to problems, somewhere mental harassment, mental torture. We feel demotivated and we feel, where are we standing and what are we doing with our lives? Whereas our co-teachers, our co-fellow students or our partners are moving ahead in life. So this is another effect. And the third one is addiction. Also, using digital devices for fun can lead to addiction, which can hurt mental health and well-being of anybody. So many cases have come up when the addiction was so bad that it led to depression and also suicide, which is very commonly which we can very commonly hear in the newspapers. We can read and hear through social media channels and news channels. If I talk about the multifaceted dimensions of the tech touch dilemma within MOOC and its implications, well, there are many. Automation versus personalization. MOOC platforms use machines to do stuff like grade assignments or give feedback. It makes things quicker, but it might mean students do not get a personal touch, a personal help, or face-to-face interaction. Whereas if I talk about personalization, students like it when the teachers give them their feedback. And for instance, if a student doesn't understand something, it is better if a teacher helps them in a special way instead of just computer saying that yes, everything is fine or not. Similarly, social presence versus social isolation, feedback time and quality, support systems support versus support, self-realization, technological accessibility, instructor presence, and engagement. These are some of the multifaceted dimensions, interplay between technological affordances and human needs. You see, accessibility, interactivity, adaptability are few. Then if I talk about human needs, social interaction, feedback and support, autonomy and control are the others. Complex interplay, balancing automation and human touch, designing for engagement and well-being, continuous iteration and improvements. These are some of the interplay between technological affordance, impact of massive open online courses on psychological well-being of students. We have positive as well as negative impact. Accessibility and flexibility is one positive impact. Empowerment and self-efficacy, diverse learning opportunities, community and social support, self-development and career advancement, cost effectiveness, of course. And coming to the negative impact of the same, we have feeling of isolation, which is very commonly seen. Overwhelm and burnout can be seen. Then lack of feedback and support system, self-comparison and performance anxiety. Digital fatigue and distractions are there. Dropout rates are very, very common in MOOC, frequently encountered difficulties associated with high dropout rates. The autonomy afforded by not having the process of learning at the same time as wanted can sometimes result in reduced motivation and commitment among leaders. So studies suggest that completion rates for MOOC tends to be lower than those for traditional education programs, prompting concerns about their ability to effectively support continuous and engaged learning experiences. Coming to my next slide. Mitigation strategies for well-being in comparison and comprehensive learning support. Well, we should promote social engagement, promotes active engagement in discussion forums, group projects, and virtual study groups to nurture a sense of community and connection among learners, provide personalized support feedback in the form of feedback, scheduled office hours, and mentoring of opportunities to support students throughout their learning journeys, addressing their individual needs and challenges, facilitate self-regulated learning, offer students resources and guidance on effective study strategies, time management, and self-assessment techniques to help them navigate self-paced learning successfully and prevent burnout. Emphasize well-being and balance. Encourage students to prioritize self-care practices, learn stress management techniques, and adopt strategies for maintaining a healthy work-life balance. These efforts are essential for supporting their overall well-being and building resilience. Encourage reflection and goal setting. Encourage students to cultivate a growth mindset and engage in reflective practices by setting goals, tracking their progress, and celebrating their accomplishments through their learning journey. This approach helps foster a positive and motivated mindset, promoting continuous improvement and personal development. So at the end, my conclusion, in simple words, taking online courses can be good for learning and gaining skills, but we also need to think about how they might affect our students and their feelings. We may make online classes better for mental health by making sure students can talk to each other, get personal help when they need it, learn how to manage their learning themselves, and focus on feeling good and finding balance. Teachers and course creators can do things to make online classes more supportive and friendlier for everyone. By implementing strategies to promote social engagement, provide personalized support, facilitate self-regulated learning, and emphasize well-being and balance, educators and course designers can help mitigate the negative effect of MOOC and create more supportive and inclusive learning environment for all. Thank you so much. That's all from my side.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And kindly stop share.
Sure, ma'am.
Dr.
Yes.
Pooja,
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
where are you?
Oh, so
Is your
sorry.
video on?
No, so sorry, sir. I was coordinating.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let me introduce and welcome Dr. Jugnu Khattar Bhatia, Secretary Finance, Ctpd India. Welcome, ma'am. You can continue, Dr. Pooja.
Welcome, Jugnu ma'am, to track 3.3. And we proceed with the next presentation. And I request the chair and co-chair to kindly allow one of our paper presenters, whose name is not there in the list, Mr. R.P. Badoni. So kindly let me know, ma'am, if we can allow him.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am. So Mr. R.P. Badoni, he is going to present on analyzing teachers' competence in e-content creation for Diksha portal post-SERT organized workshops. He is a lecturer at IT-SERT, Uttarakhand, India. Mr. Badoni, are you there, sir?
Yeah, Namaskar, ma'am.
Yes,
Can you
sir.
hear me?
Yes, sir. Kindly share your screen.
Okay. Can you see my presentation, ma'am?
Yes, sir. We can see if you can make it slideshow. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Perfect. Please proceed.
Okay. Okay, my topic is analyzing teachers' competence in e-content creation for Diksha portal post-SCRT organized workshop. Actually, this study is carried out on the teachers, and these teachers from schools as well as from DIETS and SCRT. Actually, we are seeing the things like everybody is focusing on content creation, but the training part is lagging behind. Everybody want a good content, but how the content will be created, that we are lagging behind. So as I'm seeing, there is a problem going on since long. Everybody is on Diksha, Swayam, MOOCs, and they are looking for content, but we are lagging behind. So actually, we did some literature review, like from Mr. Yadav paper. They have done some ICT integration with the teachers, educators, but the study came out like they are saying that the teachers are getting proficient in digital technology to create content. Similarly, there are so many studies what I saw, but one study other from Sukla and Aurora, finally I saw that is done on the SCRT people, but they find some significant improvement, but they are saying still there are very few teachers are getting acquainted with the tools and technology. So the background is like that. we as in Uttarakhand, we are also trying to create content, our own channels, and because right now NEP 2020 is saying there is PME Vidya channel. They assigned us for five channels, and we need daily content for the classroom education. But how the content can be created, that's lot of gap is there. To make that gap fulfill, we call teachers from the different schools and diets. Even SCRT was there, and we are aiming to make them competent to create content, especially digital content, not like video recording of the teachers. So we were focusing on the content creation. For that, we made some objectives, and we were thinking initially, let's see if there is any difference between the normal teacher and the teacher who is saying they know technology. For that, we just did some survey, and we did a pre questionnaire to them and just assessing how much they are aware of technology. But only we are focusing those technology, especially useful for creating content, not for all the technology. We are looking for the tools in technology, web tools, which can be used for the content creation for classroom. So there were diet faculty and school teachers, male, female was there. So the findings was like that when we did this with the teachers. So what exactly happened, I can show you the results at the same time. But what exactly we find out that when we demonstrated them how to create content, initially very few teachers were aware how to create content. But after 7 days workshop, with rigorous workshop, hands-on practices with the teachers, we assigned them lessons. So we find there is some changes on their means to create the content, but they were hesitant because of they don't have enough resources. Even when I did the same study with the same many universities, I found that gap is there. They are just saying they don't have resources, and they are talking about OERs, they are talking about a lot of things already created. But according to the classroom, according to the curriculum, as per the geography of the classroom, that content is not prepared. So there was a lag. So our findings was there was change. We have seen the change on the students, as well as even on the teachers, how they create content that we saw. So I can show you the findings like this, if it will link. Some results I can show you with, I think my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when we were there in a pre-test, we did some initial test, like how much they are competent in ICT skills. So we have very poor responses. Only 2 or 3 people were in a category who are saying that they are competent enough. If you see the mean, only 3.7% of the teachers are well aware of using technology in the classroom. Similarly, with diet faculty, there are only 3.5. So there was not big difference. But after, if you see the post-test, what we have observed, that I can show you in a result. Yeah. If we can see here, so you can see the difference. Means the school teachers mean is we reach up to 10 just after 7 days of training. So the difference when it was only 3.5, right now is a 10. So means at least means maximum teachers, they once they got the training, hands-on practices, say they shown some significant difference. Though the diet teachers, diet faculty, those are more responsible for monitoring schools, for teaching the school teachers, their capacity is down. Means it shows that school teachers are more eager to create content rather than the institutes. So similarly, same thing happened with the SCRT as well. So there are so many parameters where we tested the teachers, how much they are competent in Google Sheet, Google tools. Even we initially we were talking about the Google tools because it is in our reach. It comes something like in a OERs category. So we focused on the Google tools. So how many tools there are so they can use from the Google. So everything is available on a Google. So we try to teach them in a Google platform. So the change was significant, and even the diet faculty though is lagging, but the school teachers were doing well. Same thing we did with some other even individual school teachers. So we found the significant difference in their
Kindly
learning
adhere to
outcomes.
time.
So many things were going on. So I think such kind of thing is further scope. It suggests that once we do rigorous training with the teachers, definitely it will help us to create content. That was the focus only. We have to make them enabled to create content. Actually, to talk about the content creation is a very difficult task. It's not so easy. And if you want to run your channel or you want to create content for Swayam platform, we need teachers or people who are enabled to create the content. So that means that's not only the pedagogy, the content. You must be technically very much sound, or then you can create the content. So that was the finding. We have to have create teachers proficient in an arena or in like NEP is coming. So if we will be able to make teacher competent enough, then it will be very means it will be resource only in a e-content series if there will be teachers expertise in creating content. So that's it from my side from this paper. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, so much. Kindly stop share. And Sanjana Mishra, Dr. Sanjana Mishra, are you there? Are you able to join, ma'am? Dr. Sanjana Mishra, she has said that she is in a train, so the network is very poor. So she is not able to join. So
Pooja ma'am, you can proceed. No problem.
okay, sir. So we, and even Shalini Sharma and Rohini Kumari, they have not been able to join so far. So these were some knowledgeable presentations from our paper presenters, not only from India, but also across the globe. And we now look forward, gaining some more insights and wealth of knowledge. And for this, may I invite Dr. Siti Nazwar Sailen to summarize the session and address the participants of the session. Dr. Siti, ma'am.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, all right. Okay, so thank you, Dr. Pooja, for the introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues, and to all presenters of Ctpdcon 2024. Thank you so much for inviting me again this time for the second time here. So last time I've already joined all of you. It's a very wonderful conference, I would say. It's just that I'm quite busy this time, so I was not able to provide some informations that were requested by the organizers earlier. Sorry about that. So actually, it's a privilege for me to become the session co-chair for today's and to wrap up what has been discussed. And we can see that there are lots of incredibly insightful presentations on the paradigm shifts in global higher education and e-learning. And the discussions and the presentations that we have heard today actually have provided us with wonderful insights on how ways, there are many ways, okay, that has been shared just now on our world of educations that we are now transforming at a remarkable pace. So congratulations to all presenters. So please allow me to take a few moments to share some key takeaways as well as the broader themes that stood out from today's presentations. There are some themes that I can figure out from today's presentations. The first one is on learning in a new cognitive and technological landscape. So this is one of the recurring themes across several presentations, and it actually shows that there are changing in nature of learning. Okay, we are no longer confined to traditional textbook-based approaches, but now metacognition, abstractions, and architectural thinking are coming to the forefront as the essential skills in these new tech-infused learning environments. And it is not just about what students know anymore. It is about how they learned, yeah, particularly in the digital environments that demand critical thinking and self-regulation. So I think from today's presentation, we can kind of like get some insights that we as the educators need to ensure that our students are not just passively absorbing the informations, but they should be actively engaged with the informations, with the contents, yeah, with the OER and things that we share with them. They should be able to analyze it, and more importantly, they should be able to create something meaningful with the new technology. And this shift in focus is actually crucial as we are preparing our students for the complexities of today's digital world. And the second theme that I can figure out just now from the presentations is on the double-edged sword of technology. This is another important point that emerged from today's presentations, which is related to the dual role of technology. Yeah, dual role technology plays in education. On one side, we can see that technology through ubiquitous computing, smart devices, and cloud platforms that has been delivered and discussed by some of the presenters has made education more accessible and flexible than before. All right. And whether it's through smartphones in rural areas or cloud-based platforms in universities, learning can happen anywhere, anytime. It's just that sometimes, of course, there are some technical glitches like we can see from today's presentation as well. Some people still cannot get access to their, because it requires quite a lot of bandwidth, yeah, and also some technological ability, yeah, to be able to navigate in the online conference like this. But I think it's a wonderful start. It's a wonderful trend now that we can see lots of conferences has been conducted online so that we can share our knowledge, we can share our findings of the research to the world, okay, not just confined to our local community or our nation, yeah. All right, so, but there's another side to the coin, which is the digital divide, as I mentioned just now. As much as technology expands access, it is also sometimes has risk, yeah, leaving behind communities with limited resources, especially those in the rural and marginalized groups. And if we are not careful, actually, the very tools meant to bridge gaps could actually deepen the existing inequalities in education. So we have to make our kind of like delivery, our strategies, our methods of delivering the knowledge and sharing the knowledge should be kind of like personalized and also able to cater wider audiences. Perhaps in the future, we can see more hybrid kind of conferences where those who cannot get access to the technology can come to the place, and yeah, we can have more interactions from there. And this is a challenge that we need to confront, and we are truly we have to make the education inclusive, yeah. All right, so the third theme that I can kind of like share is on, I think, something related to human element in the e-learning. Okay, many of our presenters have been talking about e-learning, things like the so-called tech touch dilemma, yeah. So this is one of the most thought-provoking discussions today around the balance between technology and human connections, or what we call as the tech touch dilemma. While platforms like MOOCs, okay, some of the presenters talk about the MOOCs, okay, the massive open online courses. Yes, it's really offer a fantastic scalability and reach, but sometimes, or perhaps often, yeah, lack of crucial human touch. Okay, so I think the last presenter just now, when he's talking about we have to create the content, so that is the time where we have to kind of like include the human touch in the content creations. Yeah, we have to have that elements, okay, things that we can do actually. So The research presented just now also made it clear that students, especially the younger ones, can struggle with motivations, and they might be sometimes feel isolated when learning in their solely online environments like the MOOCs. Okay, I have experience in using MOOCs, and also we are also moving forward towards MOOCs actually in my university at the Northern University of Malaysia. But yes, these are the things that we have to consider to kind of like include the human touch, okay, so that the students, the participants, they are not feel lonely, yeah, when they are enrolled in our online courses. And this is also raises an important questions for us, especially on how do we bring that human connection back into the digital classroom, whether through personalized feedback. So these are the things that we can consider. Okay, we have to have more personalized feedback, real-time interactions, or even AI solutions. Okay, we have presenters that talking about we can actually utilize AI, yeah, while preparing for the assessment, providing feedbacks. These are the things that can actually help us. And importantly, don't just leave it to the AI, but we have to include the human touch and the human interaction within the environment. All right. Okay. So next is on AI and the smart technologies in education. There are some presenters who have been talking about this. So this is also very interesting topic about the growth of AI that influence the educations. We are moving towards what being called as higher education 4.0, where AI can actually personalize learning. It can automate feedback. Yes, I agree with the presenters just now that said, well, it's actually can help us be more effective, okay, and efficient educators. Okay, we can give more instant feedback and also optimize our operations. And it is also exciting to see how AI can actually help to tailor educational experiences and to meet individual needs. And regarding the content creations that the final presenter mentioned just now, well, actually, there are lots of AI tools that we can utilize, okay, that we can utilize so that we can prepare more kind of like high-end, more sophisticated, more interesting, more interactive content to our students. But of course, definitely, we are the experts. So we have to put in our expertise, okay, within the AI tools or whatever tools that we are using. Yeah. Okay. So it is also important to not overlook on the ethical considerations that come with these issues, yeah, related to the use of AI. For example, issues like data privacy, biases in AI decision making, as well as the growing reliance on technology also needs a careful thought. Yeah. So we have to ensure that AI empowers both learners and educators rather than replacing the invaluable human aspects of education. Another things or another theme that we can figure out from the presentation just now is on cultural and pedagogical rethinking. So we can see that today's presenters have explored some of the broader cultural and political dimensions of higher educations. And many presentations today also, some of the presentations also challenge, yeah, the dominance of Western models of educations and call for more locally relevant approaches, especially in the regions like India, okay, in the Asian culture. But it is also important that we can actually make global higher education more inclusive and reflective, yeah, by taking the experience from the diverse cultural context. And there's also growing recognition that we need to rethink about pedagogy to improve our educations and to develop our curriculum that also kind of like meet the local needs. And in this rapidly globalizing world, the questions of whose knowledge is being privileged in the classroom is also deserving our attentions, especially when we are creating the contents and so on. And last but not least, I think there are also some kind of like presentations, discussions that been talking about cybersecurity and also future-proof education. So there are also some discussion about digital hygiene, especially on how we should move our kind of like approach into the cloud. Yeah. And as we embrace smart technologies and cloud platforms, it is very important for us to protect and ensure the digital safety of our students and educators. Okay. And also, I think in today's digital world, digital resilience is not just an add-on, it's a fundamental. So here in Malaysia, we are also been talking about teachers' resilience, educators' resilience towards technology. There are lots of things that we have to kind of like catch up, but sometimes teachers are being kind of like, oh, there are so many things we cannot catch up and so on. And yeah, these are the things that we have to kind of like look into, kind of like giving more attentions toward the well-being of their educators especially. And I think as a conclusions, the themes that emerged today, either from the shift in cognitive learning strategies to the ethical concerns around AI, and from addressing the digital divide to rethinking our global educational models, all points to a common goal. We are not just adapting to new technologies, but what importantly is we are transforming how we think about education itself. And as for the educators, we are not just the users, we are the content creators. So it is very important for us to be more creative and up to date so that we can kind of like provide more personalized learning experience to our students. And therefore, hopefully it can contribute, yeah, to the betterment or the quality education. And of course, we can utilize the technology and the emerging technology. So that's all I think the conclusions or the summary that I can provide from today's presentations. Once again, congratulations to all presenters, yeah, for the wonderful insights, for the brilliant ideas and the research that has been conducted. And I also learned a lot, yeah, from today's presentations, especially on the paradigm shifts in global higher education and e-learning, especially from the Indian scholars and speakers. And we also have many other presenters around the world. So yeah, that's all from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Your insights have been profound and shall serve as a guiding force to one and all in this session. We are really thankful to you for sparing your precious time. And please accept, just a minute, ma'am, and please accept as a token of our gratitude from the organizers of the conference, this virtual memento. We are really honored to have you, ma'am. Kindly accept. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Okay.
Siti ma'am, you are unmute. You want to say something? The last.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for the memento of appreciation. It's a very wonderful. Yeah, it's very nice. It's just that maybe later the organizers can help me to kind of like improve the affiliations so that I can have a copy of this memento. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. And we now eagerly await the insights and reflections on the proceedings of this session. And may I now invite the esteemed chair of track 3.3, Professor Dhawan, for the closing remarks.
Thank you, Doctor. So as we come to the close of this enlightening and transformative session, we had the privilege of engaging with some of the brightest and inspiring minds in education and exploring the dynamic reforms and paradigm shift that are shaping the future of higher education globally, including e-learning with social engagement and of course with content development. This session has highlighted the critical role education plays in solving global challenges by applying advanced technologies. Varied views compelled me to think about different futuristic aspects of education. Through engaging discussions, insightful presentations, and vibrant idea exchanges, we have witnessed how the world of higher education is evolving. From the adoption of digital technologies and hybrid learning models to the emphasis on skills over traditional degrees, rise of lifelong learning, to the integration of interdisciplinary and global perspectives, especially sustainability, we have explored innovations that will define education for generations to come. Calls to action that have emerged are reimagining curricular design, providing multiple kinds of learning experiences, fostering collaboration at different levels, accelerating the adoption of digital learning platforms, and employing AI-driven educational tools to enhance personalized and flexible learning environments. In my opinion, educators can do wonders by integrating their intelligence, creativity with technology. All presenters have put in their efforts and reflected their views. While accepting the dynamic learning environment and learner-centered approach, we must agree that assessment should focus on the process and not only on the product. So regarding the best paper award, it was really very difficult to decide on the best presenter. However, while deciding the best presenter, we considered the content quality, clarity of presentation, use of visual aids, and whether completed within the allotted time. So therefore, respecting the views of all presenters, 2 presenters have been awarded the best paper presenter. So the best paper paper award goes to
Seema ma'am,
yes,
the award
please.
will be announced in valedictory session. You have to give us
Okay. So that the award will be announced in the validatory session. So then I want to extend my deepest gratitude to Dr. Siti Nazar Salim, the co-chair. She beautifully expressed the summary of the session. I thank all the presenters, the moderator, the conveners, and the participants for their contributions. Your knowledge, experience, enthusiasm, passion, and active participation have made this session a remarkable success. My special thanks to all the organizers for their tireless efforts in bringing us together, providing this platform from various parts of the world to discuss such critical issues for the future of higher education. So I thank you all. And should I declare the closing of the session?
Yes, ma'am, you can declare.
Ma'am,
Okay. Please.
Yes, ma'am.
So I declare the closing of the track 3.3, that is paradigm shifts in global higher education and e-learning.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We are really honored.
I think there has been some technical glitch at the end of Dr. Pooja, ma'am.
Yeah. Ma'am, I'm just presenting. Just a minute. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your insightful closing remarks, and your words have provided us with a profound perspective on the significance of this session. We are extremely grateful to you for your valuable time and sharing your vast experience. So please accept, as a token of gratitude from the organizers of the conference, this virtual memento. We are indeed honored to have you here, ma'am, in this conference and especially our track. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Thank you very much. Thanks to the organizers. And I like this, giving this memento online. Really, I appreciate this. Thanks again.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. And as we approach the conclusion of today's technical session, we have a special moment to acknowledge the outstanding contributions of Dr. Sanjay Kumar, the convener of Track 3. So I'll just share my screen, just a minute. Dr. Sanjay Kumar, the convener of Track 3, your dedication, expertise, and leadership have played a crucial role in the success of this track, and we are honored to present you with a virtual memento as a token of our appreciation.
I accept it, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. We are really indebted to you for giving us this opportunity. Now, dear Dr. Balbir Kaur, we want to take a moment to honor your exceptional contributions as the co-convener of Track 3, and we are deeply grateful for all your support. Please accept as a token of gratitude from the organizers of the conference this virtual memento.
Thank you, Pooja ma'am. Thank you, organizer Ctpd India, and thank you, President Ctpd India. Thank you so much.
We are extremely thankful to Dr. Sonal Chabra, Associate Director and Head of Department, Delhi Teachers University, Delhi, for being giving us the overview of the plenary session. And ma'am, we are really thankful. Kindly accept this memento on behalf of the organizers of Ctpdcon-Era 2024.
Sonal ma'am is not there. I accept it.
Oh,
You
okay.
proceed, please.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Okay, sir. Sorry. Okay. So now, ladies and gentlemen, as we prepare to draw the curtains on this enlightening technical session at Ctpdcon-Era 2024, it is my pleasure to invite a very distinguished individual among us to express our collective gratitude and appreciation for the valuable insights we have gained today. And ma'am, we invite Balbir Kaur ma'am to do the honors and to deliver the vote of thanks and express gratitude to the speakers and participants and summarize the essence of this session. Over to you, Dr. Balbir Kaur.
Thank you, Pooja ma'am. Respected chair, co-chair, distinguished speakers, presenters, and esteemed audience. Good afternoon to all of you. As we come to the end of this insightful session on paradigm shifts in global higher education and e-learning, I feel privileged to express my heartfelt gratitude to all those who have contributed to making this session a great success. First and foremost, a special thank you to Dr. Sonal Chabra, Associate Program Director at Ctpd India and Head of Department at Delhi Teachers University, for setting the tone with her wonderful overview of the session. Your insights helped us all prepare for the stimulating discussions that followed. Our deepest gratitude goes to the chair of plenary session 3.3, Professor Seema Dhawan from the Department of Education, HNV Garhwal University. Ma'am, you have been my guru and my mentor, and it is both an honor and a privilege for me to stand here and express my heartfelt thanks to you. Your insightful guidance and unwavering support have been invaluable to me personally and professionally, and I'm deeply grateful for your contributions today. Thank you for gracing this session and inspiring us all with your wisdom. Your insightful address, filled with valuable perspectives on the evolving landscape of global higher education, was both thought-provoking and enriching, and has provided immense clarity on the topics discussed. The depth of your experience and expertise has not only enriched this session, but has also inspired us all. Thank you for your time, contribution, and unwavering support in making this session a success. I would also like to express my heartfelt appreciation to our esteemed co-chair, Dr. Siti Nazwar Salim, Deputy Dean at University Utara, Malaysia. Your insightful summary and thoughtful reflections on the session, Paradigm Shifts in Global Higher Education and E-Learning, have truly enriched our discussions. Your expertise and contributions have helped illuminate the complexities and future directions of higher education in a digital world. Thank you for your valuable input and for guiding this session with such depth and clarity. Your comprehensive summary and reflections on the session captured the essence of the discussion beautifully, highlighting key takeaways that will resonate with us long after the session. To our paper presenters, thank you for sharing your valuable research and contributing to the depth and diversity of today's discussion. Your hard work and dedication are truly commendable. I also extend a heartfelt gratitude and thank you to the Secretary General Ctpd, Professor Tanya Gupta ma'am, for taking out time and paying a visit to the plenary session 3.3. My thank you goes in the same series to Dr. Jugnu Khattar Bhatia ma'am, to Dr. Eugene Potts sir. He's been here right from the beginning of the session to the end of the session. Your presence was so motivating to us that we can't explain in words. And of course, my thank you to all the audience for your active participation and engagement. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to our moderator, Dr. Pooja Sharma, for skillfully guiding the session and ensuring a smooth flow of discussion. And to present her with a small token of memento, ma'am, would you share the screen? So do accept this small token of gratitude from Ctpd India. Thank you, ma'am. The feedback link is shared in the chat box. You can all fill up the feedback and then leave. And once again, my heartfelt gratitude to everyone. Yes, my gratitude is left to the convener, Dr. Sanjay Kumar. उनको हम हमेशा ही हमेशा उनका gratitude हमें रहता है. And without his guidance, without his initiative, the whole conference would never have been possible. So thank you, sir. And let us continue to work together to shape the future of global higher education and e-learning. Thank you very much. Over to you, Pooja ma'am.
Dr. Balveer once announced the validity session timing.
Yes, sir.
It is 3 to 6.
Yes, so as has been announced by President Dr. Sanjay Kumar, the valedictory session will start at 3 p.m. sharp. We want all the paper presenters, the audience, the respected chair and respected co-chair, everybody to be present there because the awards will be given away. And we want all of you to make the valedictory session a memorable one. So thank you so much to accept this invitation on behalf of Ctpd India. Thank you.
And thank you so much, Vijay ji. I am seeing since I think from yesterday, he's also with us continuously in our sessions. Thank you, Vijay ji.
My pleasure, sir. It's very enlightening to be among experts like you. A real good opportunity. I appreciate that very much.
Thank you, sir.
Form has not been sent, sir. So if you can just share the feedback form, we can fill it up on our way out.
Share.
Balveer ma'am, please share
I'm
the
sharing,
feedback.
sir. I'm sharing.
So congratulations to the president and his team.
Ma'am, congratulations to whole team.
Yeah, that's why we can say the team Ctpd.
Yes, Dr. Tanya, Dr. Jugnu, Dr. Reena.
So
team.
congratulations to all. So
Thank you,
Dr.
ma'am.
Tanya is also here. Congratulations, ma'am. May I leave now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thanks. Thanks
Thank
for.
you. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
everyone.
ma'am. Thank you so much.
Participants, please leave the session after filling feedback form.
Knowledge is a journey, not a destination, and each step brings us closer to new horizons. Thank you for your active participation and unwavering enthusiasm. Enjoy the rest of the sessions at the Ctpdcon-Era 2024 and make your pursuit of knowledge continue to shine bright. So just before leaving, if you can put your videos on for a group photograph of this track 3.3, I request you all, if you can put your videos on, all of you. And just give me a moment. I hope everybody is filling the feedback form for your e-certificates. Balbir ma'am, if you can also take 1 or 2 pics.
Yes, ma'am, I have taken already. Thank you.
Ma'am, thank you. So if the presenters have filled the feedback form, we request you to kindly leave the session and please join us back for valedictory session from 3 to 6 p.m. The link will be sent to you. We are extremely thankful to all the dignitaries who have joined both from India as well as internationally. And we are extremely indebted to each one of you. Thank you, Sanjay sir. And thank you, Balbir ma'am. Thank you, Tanya ma'am. And thank you, Jugnu ma'am, all of you, for giving me this opportunity. And thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. We'll meet at 3 p.m. then. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Yes, Dr. Archana, you have a doubt? Dr. Archana, you raised your hand, ma'am. Archana, ma'am, you have some doubt?
बलवीर मैम,
जी सर।
now close the session and validatory meeting भी अभी हमारी and फाइनली फिर वो वैलिडिटी में जो हम सर्टिफिकेशन फॉर्म फीडबैक के साथ शेयर करेंगे ही, तो किसी का रह जाएगा तो उधर फिल कर लेंगे वो पार्टिसिपेंट सर्टिफिकेशन।
ठीक है।
तो क्योंकि अब हमारा प्राइमरी जो फोकस है ना वो वैलिडिटी पे होना चाहिए, इसको फिर आप क्लोज कर दीजिए।
ठीक है सर। So thank you all of you. Thank you, Pooja ma'am. I
Thank you
end
so
the
much, ma'am.
session.